And what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of the Boys in the Big Apple podcast. Sean and Luca join me now. A lot of stuff to talk about. He's very excited because his team, unlike our two
upset of
teams,
the week. Well,
Yeah.
one of them anyway.
well,
There's a lot of them.
of course, that's why you only got like 5 picks right. But
Yeah,
with that
we'll get
being
into
said,
that in a bit.
yeah, a lot to talk about. NFL, college football. Notre Dame made their game very interesting. We actually bought Peacock for the one game, and Notre Dame beat Notre Dame. The Yankees, even though they won today, which we're very happy about, it's not the biggest win of the year as many people
Y'all ruined my
anticipate.
night. Thank you, Yankees.
Sean's very mad. He's very mad about that.
I got a little message for Francisco Lindor when we get there.
Yeah. So obviously I'll throw it around the table. I'll give it to Sean, then I'll give it to Luca in terms of like first thoughts offhand of the sports weekend, and we'll get right into it.
All in all, it wasn't, put the Yankees aside. The Irish, I don't know what the hell that was, but, that's Notre Dame's great at underachieving, so I guess there's that. I should mention, I saw most of the Irish game. I didn't get to see any of the race, and I only got to see the last inning of the Yankee game because it took me 2 hours to get home Saturday night.
What happened?
I got out of work half an hour late, picked up my dinner, got to the bus stop, bus didn't show up for an hour. I got out at 9:30, I got home at 11:30.
You should have walked home.
Yeah, let me walk like 6 miles. I'm good.
So
as far as Saturday goes, the race, Hendrick Motorsports, better than last week. That's most I can say for that. Chase Elliott 4th place finish. The Yankee game Saturday night, beautiful ceremony. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ceremony. You check out my Instagram, you can actually see the lights from ground zero from my house at Sean_Cacaro7. That it was really cool. I wasn't expecting to be able to, because Staten Island's a little bit further from Manhattan than other boroughs. But as far as Sunday goes, upset it. Honestly, I'm gonna go as far as say is that's the biggest opening day win the Steelers have had in a really long time, and I will go there because we normally when we start out the year we don't play the best of teams. Like we'll play like the Browns, when they were bad. You get the Browns or
Bengals, maybe
Bengals, Giants. So
fuck you.
So I consider that to be one of the biggest opening day victories we've had in a long time. TJ Watt's a Steeler now for the next couple years. So, football, I didn't get to see a whole lot, because I did work yesterday, but I salvaged any football I could get yesterday. So it was a good weekend. As far as going to the Yankee game Friday, mistake? Maybe.
I mean, you're the one who recommended it.
I know.
It's like
I take full blame for it. I'm not even going to deny it.
It's like that one South Park episode where they all go, the frick, why am I forgetting? Why am I forgetting? Yeah, they all go, they all go ziplining, and then Kenny dies of herpes, and then and then they're like,
on there.
Yeah,
this is a perfect way to start.
And then what happens is they're trying to blame each other. Who thought of the idea? Who thought of the idea? So basically that's Sean without the herpes. But Luca, if you want to go ahead,
this is such a weird way to start.
Why would you open up with that, Alex?
God, if we got any 5-year-olds watching, don't worry. You don't need to know what that means.
Yeah,
just putting that out there.
Yeah,
I agree.
Erase it from your head.
Why is there a Kansas City Chiefs fan? Okay, I'm watching the Raider game. There's a Chiefs fan in the crowd.
I see. Had an okay weekend, really. Yankees disappoint once again. Failed to win the Subway Series. Jets lose yesterday in a fashion I didn't necessarily like, but it was okay. It wasn't a great loss. It wasn't a terrible loss. No loss is great, but no moral victory.
Yeah. And obviously Sean, his team won, but both of our fan bases are going off right now. Right, and it's not so great for us because obviously we're in the middle of a fan base. If you guys haven't already, go check out the Big Blue in the Bronx podcast recorded earlier today. Recorded a Yankee video earlier today, and so let's start off with the Yankees. I was calling the game on Saturday night. I'll agree with you on every aspect of that. The ceremony was great. I thought the 17-year-old singing "America the Beautiful" that was great. All the ceremony was.
It was amazing. It was breathtaking. Susan Waldman. I was listening to the game while I was working, and Susan Waldman was in tears. So, if you want some perspective, there you go.
Right.
With that being said, a lot of now, once again, I was calling the game and I wasn't really paying attention to Twitter. But when I got on Twitter, this was after the Mets started getting on the board after the 5-0. And all these Yankee fans are coming out saying that they juice the balls and this, that, and the other thing. They juice it for the big events and stuff like that. Like, you know what? At least be fair to the Mets in this occasion. Say,
they fucking beat us. Say they beat us.
They beat us. There's nothing more to it.
No. What? No, you guys are missing a whole part that I maybe you guys are reading me wrong in this. No, after the Mets, I'm talking the 9-11 game, just the game. After they started scoring, it was like 5-3, I think, at the end of the second inning, I want to say. They started saying MLB has to juice the balls for these type of events, which I don't understand. The Yankees hit 3 home runs in the top half of the inning. No one says anything. And I'm a Yankees fan, So you don't say anything in the top half of the inning, but it's the bottom half of the inning when there was no home runs. It was an RBI single, RBI triple, and an RBI double. You don't say anything, right? It's just, it blows my mind. But, it really irritates me because now, Luca, if you will, if you're not taking notes yet, please check on the other scores that have to concern us because I think it's the Red Sox and the Mariners and the Jays.
I can tell you the Jays game because that's on NFL Network, MLB Network.
Oh, I didn't know if it was on NFL Network, Sean.
Yeah, they're doing an NFL. They're doing a special where they cover baseball for a day. It is no score, bottom of the fourth. Blue Jays threatening.
I just want to say Mariota just took a snap for the.
Yeah, I saw.
I gotta put on that game.
Anyway, I'm looking at the scores right now. Blue Jays 0-0 as previously mentioned. Red Sox Mariners at 10-10, and I don't think there's left any scores.
Red Sox Mariners 10-10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What, you thought it was a 10-10 score?
Yeah. For a second, I'm like, no, it's not.
For viewers that don't know, today marks on this day. I don't remember how many years ago. I literally saw like half an hour ago while I was eating dinner. Today was the day when Mariano Rivera got his 600th career save. It makes me miss him because chances are if he were to pitch right now, he can't be much worse than Chapman or Green.
He'd be better than some of the starters in the rotation, and that says something. With that being said, the Blue Jays have absolutely overtaken the Red Sox in the standings. They're second place now, which is something I didn't expect. But you know what? The Blue Jays, I've said this about the Blue Jays. Maybe they didn't get the greatest start that everybody thought they would at the beginning of the year because they were not in Toronto, they were in Buffalo, they were Dunedin. Now they're that team. I mean, how many times did I say before the baseball season, and you guys can probably back me up on this, the Blue Jays are going to be a good team. And now they're a good team.
I've agreed with you the entire time. I've been giving them their praises since opening day.
Yeah. And now they're in second place. They have that first wild card. The Red Sox have that second wild card, and the Yankees are a game out. And it's all fine and well that we won today, but you know what? We literally got beaten by the Orioles the last time. Blue Jays took care of the Orioles like we should have. What was it, like 22-7? And then that score outscored both me and Luca's teams.
Outscored 14 NFL teams.
I mean, if you're outscoring like teams like the Chargers and teams who won, I don't think it matters, honestly.
It's still a little embarrassing.
It's still a little bit of
just to know. Luca told me this yesterday. I'm looking to confirm. Magic number for elimination? 10. That's it.
And
10. You lose 10 more games, we're done.
Well, I mean, it doesn't also. I mean, obviously, it falls
Unless the
with
teams
loss.
around us start to
Yeah.
struggle. But if they keep winning, we're done.
Listen, there's definitely there's definitely room for that, and I'm not saying that it's a good thing, but we got a 3-game set against Baltimore coming up. We got the Indians set, which one of the games we will be in attendance for unless it rains and then something happens or whatever.
Well,
Then
I
we
can
got
tell you
Texas.
this. If it gets pushed to Saturday, I can still do Saturday. I don't have work. So
Okay.
if it gets rained out, already got an injury. If it gets rained out, I'm still good.
Okay.
I'll still be good to go.
Okay, so Saturday, obviously, once again. We got the Rangers. We go to Boston. We go to Toronto at the end of the month, and then we finish off against the Rays. So tell me why.
They have like one of the easiest schedules remaining in the league.
I know.
The
I
Yankees.
honestly, I don't actually agree with you there.
Well,
The
that's per
next
no,
three-
that's like
the
a
next-
statistic. That's not an opinion.
Oh,
Per MLB, that's a statistic.
well, I mean, I don't care. To be honest, I don't care what they say.
No, I don't either. I'm just saying.
Next three series are very important. If they don't get their shit together in the next 3 series or the next 2, and then leave it for all for Texas, it's over.
I said it at the start of the All-Star break. I'll say it again. If you lose one series, you're only digging you're only digging your grave at this point. Every series you lose, you're digging in a little bit deeper. That's the only way you can. Any game you lose at this point is like But speaking realistically,
Yeah.
every series you lose, you're just digging your grave.
No, absolutely. Shout outs to William Moeller in the chat. He was very active in the chat during the 9/11 game. Appreciate you, William. Luca, obviously you've been a little silent here. Also, another topic to talk about is Gleyber Torres moving to second base. Why now is the real question.
I don't get it. I really
At this
don't.
point,
after
move him
140
over.
games, it makes no sense.
No, that's like if they were to decide to finally fire Boone now.
And
Wait.
I mean, it's like saying, "Oh, we're gonna put Giancarlo in the outfield now." Why? It doesn't make a lot of sense. And what really bothers me, and once again, the fall of this team is not just going to be the lack of offense; it's going to be the bullpen,
Right.
and also the decision making. I mean, I don't have any sources in the building, with availability and all this and stuff like that. Chad Green nearly blew the 9/11 game. Then the next night, he gives up the 3rd home run to Francisco Lindor.
And blew the game.
Yeah. So this once again, this is a guy we didn't trade. We traded Sessa, right, guys? That was a good trade, right?
Just to dump
At this
off-
rate, I wouldn't even be surprised if Sessa fell apart and he was still with this team. I wouldn't be. It's contagious.
Luca.
I have to agree with Sean. But you know what, Sean? Because Gary Sanchez got the walk-off hit today, I got this tweet. Gary Sanchez is not a problem, and if you disagree with me, I don't care.
Did we not watch the game Friday? Did you not see 60 feet? Here comes the runner. Oh, maybe I should tag him. No, he stood there like the fat bastard he is. Please, ship him off anywhere but New York. Unless he goes to Queens. Then he can go to Queens. He'll ruin the Mets. You can't tell me 60 feet away, you can't make that tag.
There's so many principles that were wrong with that play. Literally.
He literally stood there. Oh, no. Oh, I got him. It's okay. Why is replay telling me otherwise? I clearly tried my best. Can you forgive me, Yankee fans? I'll hit more homers for you, I swear.
He doesn't need forgiveness. Half of this fan base loves him to death and gives him the most patience as possible.
Well, yeah, he had a home run today, so of course.
No, he had the walk-off hit, but okay.
I didn't
I mean that probably means as much as a home run. But there was so many. Pete Simonetti said it best. It's like a truck was running through him. It was coming for him. Literally. As a catcher, he's fat as Sean just described. So he's bigger. Okay, he's bigger. You have the ball, so you can block the plate, you can they don't have to have a lane if you have the ball. He's got the ball like 20 seconds early. And then another play of the game, Giovanni Urshela, obviously it was on him. Yeah, but Gary Sanchez, Urshela has an offline throw towards home plate. It's not like Sanchez couldn't catch the ball, come off of home plate, and step on the plate and try to make another play, or at least save it.
I'm going to see if I can find a picture that'll define that, and I'm going to send it to the Twitter chat so it could be shared.
Yeah.
Because there's no other way to describe it than just plain old embarrassing.
Shouts
It's
to
also embarrassing with the constant wild pitches, the constant not hustling the first, the constant this, the constant that. What convinces you that Gary Sanchez is the guy at catcher? You are not winning a World Series with him at catcher. You're not.
Real quickly, I do want to get some chats. Shouts to Jagger.
How you doing, Jagger?
William says, man, he said, what's up, guys? Hope you all are well.
How you doing?
Man, I just don't see this Yankee team making the postseason. They barely won today.
They don't deserve to. They just don't deserve to. And I can't even say I'd be happy if they made it.
And there's no narrative pointing. Obviously, there's no narrative pointing. It's just this team ain't going to do anything. Anyway,
right.
Let's see, where are we at? Okay. Honestly, guys, I feel nothing changes until the front office and the coaching staff is shaken up. Sanchez is garbage. Sanchez is eating too many unicornios. Haha. Who is the spokesman from unicornios? I'm going to roast myself here, but I'll make fun of myself just to make a point. Boone, before he eats the unicornios, he puts the milk in first.
Yikes.
That's a self-inflicted wound.
Self-destruction.
That's a self-inflicted wound by me. But you know what? I root for two New York teams who are losing right now. And B, well, I'll roast myself once in a while. So, but and then Joey Gallo, he hit a home run today. Okay.
I sent it. So I just want you to share this.
Okay.
Just because. Yeah, let's defend this guy. Let's defend this guy because he's such a great catcher.
Real quickly,
and also, Alex, mind if I interrupt? And I'm gonna tell Sean
the rest
of the argument I had. So, then the guy says to me, Sean, what was I gonna say? Let me pull up the argument real quick.
Alex, share the picture while he.
I shared a GIF. I shared a GIF, like a laughing one, because that statement was incredibly stupid. The guy's like, tell me where they're finding somebody better. Thing is, I actually kind of agree with him. The Yankees put themselves in this situation. You're not signing JT Realmuto, who you signed last year with the Phillies. You don't have those catchers in free agency that are going to be long-term solutions unless you wait for a prospect and still have Gary Sanchez or Kyle Higashioka as the placeholder and then trade either of them away. The Yankees,
but even if there isn't catchers around, there's no excuse for this. I understand. Again, I agree with you 1,000%, Luca. They had their chances, and they didn't take them. They had their chances.
All right, let me get Twitter up here. All right.
Tell me how you cannot. You can't make this up. I'd rather have Higashioka's 181 batting average out there because he knows how to catch it. He saved the game on Saturday. This is embarrassing. This is an embarrassment.
How many feet is that? Does anybody know?
I honestly, I know
it's got to be at least a third of the base path.
Yeah, I know I exaggerated when I said 60 feet, but that's beside the point. No matter what it is. That's embarrassing.
I'm sorry to say this, but for the Yankee fans out there who don't want the Yankees to make the playoffs, I understand where you're coming from.
No, it comes down to obviously you want them to succeed. If you root against, I've said it many times, I can never root against my team, and I never will.
Luca.
But at this rate, what's there to cheer for? How can we sit here and think I want my team to win the World Series when look at them? They came back from 4-0 against the Twins. One of the worst teams in well, not one of the worst teams, but they got a crappy record.
They're worst in the division.
This 63-81, I think.
So I think that is right, actually. The hell was I going to say? One play that really pissed me off that's going to get lost in the wind. Gio Urshela bunts with 2 strikes.
Yeah.
And he strikes out.
Why?
Where's the common sense? Where's the common sense?
There is none.
No, common sense is non-existent.
There's no baseball IQ whatsoever.
No. Why have baseball IQ, Luca, when the computer could tell you what to do? Hell, when I was reading the comments on Mariano Rivera's 600 save, someone comments, because for those who don't know, he earns his 600 save when Russell Martin threw out a guy trying to steal. I think it was Ichiro, actually. Yeah. Ichiro was trying to steal second. He got caught. Game over. Mariano earns his 600 save. Someone comments, which I agree with partially. Why would you steal base 2-0? But he said, why would you steal a base 2-0 with 2 outs when you could just hit a home run to win the game? This is the base. Not only is there no baseball IQ amongst the players, but there's none amongst these fans anymore either. It's embarrassing. I'm not speaking towards everybody, because I know there's some really smart baseball people out there. But I read comments like that and I'm thinking, is this really the direction we're heading in?
Yes.
I sure as hell something's got, I want to say something's got to be done, but it's not going to happen. The MLB solution. Oh, let's not limit how much they could use with analytics. No. Let's juice the baseball. Oh no, they're hitting too many home runs. No, we got to deaden the baseball. Manfred.
First of all, I don't think MLB should have control over analytics. That's my personal opinion. I think the team should have it. Teams should have control over it because they control their own destiny. They really do with how much they use it. Analytics, Yankees, too much. They use it as an entire game plan and not as a guide. And I gotta say, I'm not trying to insult people here, but I'm afraid MLB's been taken over by a bunch of Ivy League kids who have never saw the field before.
Nope. You're right.
All these nerds and all these mathematicians and all these statisticians coming up from Harvard, Yale, Brown, coming up with these nuanced statistics. Oh, launch angle, exit velocity, all this shit. Like, when you teach a hitter how to hit, like how to hit the ball, do you teach it with launch angle or do you teach it with like hand mechanics and shit like that?
Everything's about timing in baseball. There you go, fundamentals. But
nobody's teaching, like, when you go up there, Sean, let's just say you're batting or whatever, you don't go up there and say, oh, I got to hit the ball with a 45-degree angle.
No.
Nobody's going to measure that, honestly.
You can't hit it at a 45-degree angle if you can't hit the ball. Plain and simple. If you don't know how to hit a baseball, then you can't learn launch angle.
That's the problem I have with some.
Stop with this crap. I'm sick and tired of it. I really am. How about you skinny ass motherfuckers go up and hit? I dare you.
You know what I love to see, Luca? You know what I love to see? Why don't we get all these analytics guys to team up? And let's get the analytics baseball tournament of just these scrawny bastards that have never played the game in their life. We'll get the Yankees analytics department versus the Rays analytics department. Who's down? Who wants to watch a bunch of nobodies who's never played the game before?
They're going to play a 5-man outfield and go to a new pitcher every inning.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be amazing. I think we should fund this. We should make a fund for this.
I'm not funding it. You think I'll put in money? No, I'll watch it for free. Prove us,
if you think about it, it'd prove us right.
Yeah, it would prove us right, but am I getting any money out of it?
I mean, if you get a big turnout, yeah.
If I bet, maybe.
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, oh, the Yankees have been hitting so many ground balls because they have the lowest launch angle in the league.
Okay, so here's my issue with these analytic bugs. Everyone says, oh, well, groundouts and double plays are not better than strikeouts. Really? Because you're not hitting the ball with a strikeout. I would think that's common sense, but people have their heads screwed on backwards. I mean, this is once again, this is the mentality. And these are the same people who defend Boone. I mean, seriously. Yeah. These are the same as people. And I I'm not even going to go in. I'm not even going to go into something else because I was ripped on Twitter this weekend by some sort of content creator. Because I said that I made a controversial statement that a couple of people refused to give their actual opinion on Aaron Boone because they don't want to lose their job. But obviously, I'm not a fan of the Michael Kay show. I never watched it in my life before. But with that being said, I do want to get to 2 comments, and I'll let you guys exhibit any other thoughts. Yeah, these nerds in the analytics department. Actually, let me go to his comment before that. A little leaguer could have made that play. Yeah, I do agree with that. And how is letting all this happen with the downhill spiral? He just needs to sell the team to an owner that will care about winning. Yeah, these nerds in the analytics department. And why does Heaney keep coming out pitching? It doesn't. Here's the problem. It doesn't make any sense when they do have him in. Obviously the multiple games he's blown, but also what was it? I think it was yesterday. 0.2 innings for a starter that's 2/3 of an inning. That's supposed to be, a starter that's supposed to go deep to a game, but you still wind up using guys like Chad Green and Wandy Peralta. I mean, come on. He actually pitched deep. I'm not going to lie. Andrew Heaney.
I hear static out of somebody, and I don't know who it is.
I don't know if it's me or not. I'm trying to find out. I don't hear anything now.
Yeah, I don't hear anything either.
Okay. I don't know if whose it was. It was either me or Alex. I know that because I'm using something different.
Yeah, once again, if you hear static, I have my second microphone plugged in just in case it's back up. William also says, I saw a Google article today that stated the Angels knew Heaney was washed up and wouldn't be able to handle the pressure in New York. Unreal. Of course. Yeah, because why would they trade
if I were the Angels, I would have done the same thing.
They traded him. They knew everything about him. And going back to one of Pete's sources that he was talking to us on the podcast about, he said he knows a guy that basically said to him, Heaney's not making it in New York. And this is the bullpen help, right? And Severino's apparently supposed to come back.
What good is Severino for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever's left in the season?
Not even. I mean, where has he been?
He hasn't even started rehab yet. Minor league season's almost over. I don't know when it ends exactly, but minor league baseball season's almost over.
I don't know. I just have so many questions about this team, and it's not getting any better. And I don't want to root against the Yankees making the playoffs, but come on, these analytic nerds, and then the Yankees not going to learn a lesson. But even if they don't make the playoffs, they're not going to learn a lesson because Gallo's coming back for another year. Aaron Hicks is coming back for another year. And
yeah, look at that contract.
Yeah, we lost Zach Britton for all of next year.
Which makes that
honestly, just cut him at this point. Just cut him.
Still got to pay him.
At this point, what does it matter?
You're the New York Yankees. You can pay pretty much anybody. There's no reason to cut back on money.
I mean, Kluber's gone next year. You have an option whether to bring Rizzo back or not. Well, not an option, but he's a free agent, so you could re-sign him or not. Gardner has an option, an actual option in his contract. Though he didn't do bad in the series against the Mets. I liked what he did though when the benches cleared and he was doing this. That was funny. I have to admit. And then it was the one camera angle pointed to the Yankees dugout after the Stan home run. I see Garrett Cole doing this and he jumps to the bench.
Can I break down the whole benches clearing incident, please?
Sure.
Okay. It all started. Actually, Luca, do you want to break down what led to Francisco Lindor doing the whistling, and then I'll break down the benches clearing incident to get, make this a team effort?
I can break it down.
Or do you not have the full story? Do you not know? I can get into it if you want me to. I don't know how much you know.
I don't know the full story. All I know is the Mets heard whistling out of the Yankees.
Okay, I'll break it down. So it was very obvious last night. Taijuan Walker was tipping his pitches. It was blatantly obvious what he was throwing. I don't know, it was so, you could read his mind. It was so obvious. So what we know, what we've heard, the Yankees were they were whistling so that when someone noticed what he was doing, they were giving the hitter the pitch. Legal. Not like the Astros where they're out here, I don't have a trash can near me. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
They did illegally. So when Francisco Lindor hit, I believe it was his second home run, he was making a whistling motion, to fight back or to taunt back for, my dad says, for all we know, the Mets could have been stealing signs. Why do you think Lindor hit 3 home runs? Anything's possible. So when Giancarlo Stanton comes up, he ties the game with a home run, and he started yelling at Francisco Lindor. Lindor, at first, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And then when all his teammates get in front of him, then he starts talking. Him and Javier Baez playing Mr. Tough Guy because, I'm behind all my teammates. You can't fight me, because he's, obviously he knows Stanton would deck him along with Javier Baez, who I both have lost complete respect for. So that, once Stanton...
How could you defend, if you're a Met fan, how could you defend any of them in any argument?
No, he literally booed you.
Completely right. That Mets fans were going to forgive him. Yeah.
It's embarrassing, really. So as they're chirping, arguing with each other, Lindor and Baez stand behind everybody else while Stanton's ready to choke slam the both of them to hell. So afterwards, everything's settled. You saw Brett Gardner going like this. And then Francisco Lindor, thanks to Chad Green, hits the 3rd home run. And if I was home by myself, I think there would have been a few things thrown. But anyway,
it's amazing how they love.
I got a little message for Francisco. Anybody who's seen my Philadelphia messages, y'all know where I'm going with this.
Oh boy!
Get a quick drink first.
Oh, he's got to get ready for his motivational speech.
Lindor, we need to have a chat. We need to get you on stream, Lindor. I think it'd be a great idea. And Baez, we'll include Baez too. I think that's fair since he was also playing Mr. Tough Guy. Embarrassment to Puerto Rican baseball, really are. And it hurts to say that because I am Puerto Rican. I've always thought highly of the both of you, but you come to New York. You complain about the hardworking people that pay for you to bat, what is it, 211 or whatever? Yeah, so you come here, you criticize the hardworking people of this great city. Then you're gonna start fights with the superior team of New York, whether you want to say that you beat us. I will take it that way. You took 4 out of 6 against us. Congratulations. You earned it. Congrats. But to play Mr. Tough Guy and stand behind the rest of your team and then talk smack to Giancarlo, who, of course, you little bastards know you would get crushed. All he has to do is push you and you end up 30 feet to the right. So you're going to come to New York and you're going to hide behind everybody else. Fine. You're going to play tough guy. Be a man. Be a man. Go face to face. If you had a problem with what they're doing, go face to face instead of hiding behind everybody else. Because all that shows to me is that you got no balls whatsoever. And Baez too. So grow a pair. You wanna make it in this city, you need to do better than just a 3 home run game against the Yankees. Take them to a World Series. Lead them to a World Series. Then you can say, I've succeeded. I've earned their trust, and I love these great fans. Not, you guys are going to boo me? I'll boo you. Oh, by the way, Stan, hold on. Let me get everybody in front of me so I don't have to go face to face. Oh, okay. Now that everybody's in front of me, go back to the dugout. Keep whistling. Grow a pair of balls, Lindor and Baez, both of you. Y'all are an embarrassment to this city. But I shouldn't be surprised Mets fans are going to forgive them because, they're some of the most. And I'm not saying everybody. I know we got Mets fans in this chat, but I'm telling you, some of these Mets fans, they are so delusional. So my message to you, Lindor, Baez, grow a pair of balls before you come to the biggest city in the world. And if you got a problem with Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, any of them guys, I'm sure CC Sabathia would come running from the stands if he was there. Get in their face. Don't hide behind everybody else. You remind me so much of Buster Posey. You're gonna act tough and hide behind everybody else. It's an embarrassment. Y'all are an embarrassment to New York. So that's it. So you want to play tough guy? Be a man. Be a man. Grow a pair of balls. It's embarrassing. If I were a Mets fan, I'd be embarrassed after that. But
really, Mets fans really said that they should look into the allegations. MLB.
What's crazy? This same thing happened 6 years ago. Remember Mark Teixeira?
Yeah.
When he hit that home run and the bench is cleared, it's deja vu all over again. So complain all you want. You got no evidence against us when Taijuan Walker was clearly tipping his pitches.
Why should they care, honestly? They took 2 out of 3 and 4 out of 6.
Yeah.
To warn the other teams, maybe.
They could try everything they want, It's not like they're going to the postseason or anything.
Tipping pitches equals stealing signs. Well, not equals. Well,
rephrase.
Somebody says tipping pitches is not stealing signs. Anyone who says the Yankees were cheating just hates the Yankees.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right.
And then somebody says Yankee pitchers are arguably one of the biggest culprits of tip pitching. If they got mad at every team that picked up on this, they'd be in fights on the daily.
Not only would they be the most hated team amongst the fans, they'd be the most hated amongst baseball, more so than the Astros.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to say. I mean, if anybody has any rebuttal, I'm willing to talk it out. I'll be calm. I'll be professional. I got my rant out there. So, Mets fans, congrats on your series. But if you're proud of Lindor and Baez, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, that's like I guess to their point. Well, Mark Andrews just got a reception, which means that I get fantasy points. But
I got the Blue Jay game on.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? If you're saying that Lindor was right and the Yankees are cheating, whatever, you're playing devil's advocate for no reason. Honestly, playing devil's advocate.
Lindor's quote real quick.
All right.
I'm gonna pull it. I'm not gonna have you display it. I'm just gonna read it because it's so unbelievably mind-numbingly stupid that it makes zero sense. So just give me uno segundo.
William, I do agree. He said, well said, Sean. Both are wimps and can't take the heat in New York. And that's a touchdown, by the way, for whoever number 34 is, Tyson Williams. I think he's a rookie out of BYU or something.
Okay, here's a quote from Francisco Lindor. Holding a WWE belt, acting like winning one Subway series makes you... By the way, anybody that claims this man is king of New York, which that's all the comments I've been seeing after the series, y'all clearly don't know baseball. If you're going to call this man king of New York with his friggin' 211 batting average, I don't know what it actually is, but no. I'm not accusing them of whistling for the signs because I'm not 100% correct, but I know what I heard. English? Does that what? Does anybody understand
whistling.
what? How does he know it wasn't from the stands? I mean, this weekend, I will say, if I will be positive for a minute, the atmospheres for all, especially Saturday and yesterday, were amazing. I can't really speak for Friday because Friday was a blowout, but the atmosphere at Citi Field was electric, especially Saturday. Saturday, if there was one game the Yankees should have won this series, it had to be that one. Yeah, the series loss is embarrassing and frustrating, but that game, I will say if there is a positive, at least they won that one. Because in my opinion, that was the biggest game of the year. And prior to when the season started anyway. Not looking at it in a baseball aspect.
An emotional
but for
aspect.
an emotional aspect. and what it means to the city. Okay, let me chat. I'm going to ask you guys too. I've seen this comment a few times, and I agree with it. Should the Subway Series be played every year on 9/11? I agree. I think it should. I think it should be a rotating thing. Next year it should be at Yankee Stadium. Year after back. I really think it should. I think I like the way they did everything. So I hope that they do something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that would be a good idea. I mean, tickets would be expensive as hell, but
somebody said in regards to today's win, that's my catcher.
Alex, would you like to display the picture again, please?
I will be happy to.
We're going to do this. For every Gary Sanchez defender, we're going to display this picture. Might as well, everybody, make this your profile picture if you think this is your catcher. Please. This is your catcher?
I said this on Pete Simonetta's stream. The Yankees have produced great catchers. Elston Howard, Yogi Berra, Jorge Posada, and Thurman Munson. Sanchez just does not fit that type.
No, he had maybe if we go back to the Girardi era, where he was actually a good catcher because Girardi was a catcher.
No, Alex, you see Gary Sanchez right there. That's my catcher. He would never. He didn't mean it. It was a mistake. That's still my catcher because he hits all them home runs. You can't hate him.
And He's
my catcher. He hits home runs.
That's like 210. Shout out to Evan
in the chat. He hits home runs, Alex. He hits home runs. That's my catcher.
Shout out to Evan in the chat who actually was at the 9/11 game. He was actually loyal enough to actually come on the stream for a quick second and say hello while he was at the game. So I appreciate that.
That's really cool. We all appreciate that.
Yeah, that was obviously on Saturday. Let us know about your experience of the game. Obviously, and tell us a little bit about it. We'll be glad to hear it. But Sean, that's your catcher, right?
That's my damn catcher. He hits home runs.
He hits home runs. Oh, good God. All right. So, any final thoughts on the baseball aspect? What is it, Luca, real quickly, or anyone real quickly, scores in the relating games to the Yankees?
One important one that doesn't relate to the Yankees, Marlins have a no-hitter through 6.
Okay. Who they play?
Washington.
Okay, that's bad. Did you see?
Toronto's up 5-0.
You're about to ask what I was about to ask, right, Luca?
About what?
Let me ask it real quick before you ask your thing. Sean, what do you think of Corbin Burns being taken out?
That's not what I was going to ask, but that's a good question still.
What do you think of Corbin Burns being taken out before and then Josh Hader coming in on the no-hitter?
How many I didn't see it.
He was at 118.
It depends. I don't know. I personally, what the 8? What did they take him out in the 9th?
8th.
I can't hate that, and the only reason I say that is the fact that 118 pitches, that's a lot. And when the Brewers have they're I don't know where they're at in the standings. Hang on, I got it right here. Brewers, yeah, they lead the division. So I get a no-hitter is very rare and they don't come by often, but they're also fighting for a playoff spot. And you don't want to wear your pitcher out. Right. So I can't hate it. Excuse me, I'll leave it at that. I can't hate it. Toronto is up 6-0 over the Rays, bottom of the 5th with 2 outs.
And what about the Red Sox? Oh, 10-10.
They didn't start yet.
That? Well, maybe they'll start prematurely just to help us out a little bit. Shout out to Joseph in the chat.
Mets are also losing 3-0.
Your biggest paid contributor is in the chat. Evan has a comment. He says, I mean, it was very fun. I actually have a twin brother who's a Mets fan, so I went with him. Oh, my God. Okay. So
that's like you and Luca with the Giants and Jets.
Yeah. That's ideally, yes. It was a back-and-forth battle all night between fans. It was exciting.
I did see that.
It was one
Pinstripe
video.
Strong posted the videos. They were hilarious.
Sunday was not fun, and we're about to get into the NFL in about a minute or so. So, Joseph, I would love to hear your thoughts. Obviously, even if you're not a football fan, we'll still take your questions, whether it's freaking golf or freaking MLB. We'll take your questions.
I'll go on a full NASCAR conversation if you want. One thing I'm really looking at, a little off topic, but I got the Rock T-shirt on, and there's a reason for that. There's been rumors and speculation that he might be coming back Survivor Series. That's one of the pay-per-views near Thanksgiving. That's at the Barclays Center. So
Nice.
when tickets become available, I really would like to go. So I am currently looking into that. I've been keeping up and seeing when those become available. But if I get if I get a chance to see The Rock at Survivor Series, my life is complete. If I get to see The Rock at Survivor Series, I'm gonna go nuts. I'm gonna say that. I am praying he will be there. It's just a rumor. It's only speculation, but anything is possible. Your brother's a Jets fan.
Jets fans are so common. But anyways,
yeah.
I saw this a lot on Twitter. Do you guys think we should trade Gio Urshela in the offseason? Regarding
No.
I don't think
No.
It's
unless you retrain Andujar to be a third baseman again and bring him back to his 20 whatever form.
I'm gonna say no, because Andujar is not a defensive. Who do you have in the minor leagues that can play third base? That's ready.
I don't know. I got somebody's got to take
Andrew Velasquez is not the answer.
LeMahieu would be your best option, because if you get rid of Urshela, you move LeMahieu to third, you put Torres at second. Who do you put as shortstop? Tyler Wade?
Ideally, or Velasquez, or
Velasquez.
You prematurely bring up as well the.
But and no disrespect to Andrew Velasquez, but when you're the Yankees, they're gonna want big names. So I think if Andrew Velasquez turns out to be our next shortstop, you can expect a couple of deals here and there. So
I don't think it'll be Velasquez, but if that'd be
it's not Velasquez, it'd be Tyler Wade.
That'd be one of them things.
Lord knows we don't need that.
I mean, I'll admit Tyler Wade did look good until the Yankees benched him. In the last 20 games that he played before the Yankees benched him, hit 400.
That is true.
Wanted. But I also like to say something. SNY ran a poll. Did last night change your perception of Francisco Lindor? 73% say yes.
Yeah, see, that's why
Mets fans
I have my saying.
Mets fans have not learned
Alex, I've been saying it for years, and I know you guys can back me up on this. And I am a firm believer that Mets fans are the most delusional in all sports, and I truly stand behind that. I'm serious. And, I'm sorry to our Mets fans in the chat, but I know they're not all bad. I'm not saying that, but. You can't tell me they aren't delusional when you got things like this.
How do you change the reception on him?
How do you change your reception when the man literally criticized you? The people who pay your bills. How can you be okay with this?
Show up to your games, support you.
People spend their hard-earned money on you, and you're gonna go out like this to them? That's why I can't back. If I was a Mets fan, I couldn't back him up. I couldn't, and that kind of makes me. I understand for the emotional aspect. Yeah, Saturday we all wanted to go, but at the same time, if we went, we would be paying for this man. We were going to be paying part of this man's freaking contract. I don't want to give that man money.
He's already got a big extension already. Anyway, somebody says Gary's locked in with his bat. The way he's snapping it, it's looking like 2017.
Alex, display the picture again, please.
We're gonna do this again.
We're gonna do this. I'm serious. God.
Every time.
We're gonna do this. This your catcher.
Somebody says Gary haters screw off.
This is your catcher. This is your catcher.
Well,
y'all want this as your catcher?
Just remember, guys, he was safe. The runner was safe on this play.
Yeah. This is your catcher. We need to make that the background. I don't know if you know how to do that, Alex, but if you can make that the background, make that the background.
Unfortunately, I would have to pay $20 a month for it. But we'll finagle something where we. What?
Should I check Facebook chats and see what they say?
Please don't.
Please don't. No.
I don't need the boomers. I was already pissed off today by a boomer. I don't need to be pissed off by another boomer.
Deal with that every freaking race weekend, so please no.
Apparently, Joseph's going to give you his house, Sean, in North Carolina. So,
I you know what? That's good for when the winter gets here because I love North Carolina.
So, what did you guys think that Clint Frazier's officially out for the year? Do you trade him after this year?
Honestly,
what value?
Yes.
I'm sorry. What value?
But look at it like this, Alex. Yes, what value? But you killed his confidence at the start of the year.
Because you brought Gardner back.
When you brought Gardner back, he can't consistently stay on the field. You know, if I were Frazier, why would he still want to be here? Because it's shown that the Yankees haven't had faith in him. And then when they give him his chances, he'll get hot for a little while, and then that's it. So, honestly, you're better off just trading him. I wouldn't release him because maybe you can get something out of it, even if it's just cash. You know, it's something.
You could trade him to the Pirates.
No, I don't want to ruin his career. I'd rather him go somewhere and succeed.
What if that's the only team that wants him?
Well, then don't trade him.
Somebody on Facebook said, guys, the Yankees won the last 2 of their 3 games.
How about before that? Before that?
First of all, they're 2-10 in their last 12. So
okay.
Yeah.
I think that explains a lot. Anyway.
Somebody tweeted, it's September 13th and the Yankees are 10 games out of the division. Brian Cashman remains dictator of organization. 19 games left in the season. They do not qualify as a wild card. That tells you where they are.
They don't deserve to be there. Even last year, they didn't deserve to be there, and they shouldn't have been there. But
let me ask this. Obviously, in 2013, we all witnessed the Yankees. That was probably the worst year I've ever watched.
That's probably the worst year of Yankee baseball we have had.
But there was a shitload of injuries. You can't really say that for this year. So would you say this is the worst organizational year?
There was a little stretch where people were getting hurt. And COVID's hit, twice now?
See, but I honestly,
this is easily, I'll put it this way. This is easily the most frustrating year as a Yankees fan, without a doubt, because I don't know if you'll be able to find the picture again, so I won't even make you try to find it.
Mm-hmm.
They're just so bipolar. They'll go on a hot streak. They'll win 13 in a row, and then they'll lose 2 of their next 14 or 12. That's what's frustrating about this year. So I will say this is probably the most frustrating year I have ever seen as a Yankee fan. At least with the other years, yes, slumps would happen. Yeah, there'd be times where they couldn't hit to save their lives, but at least they didn't give you that sense of, they're a World Series team. They just won 13 in a row. It was, that's really, like I said, the best way I can describe it is this is easily the most frustrating year I've ever been a part of as a Yankee fan.
Yeah, William says in the chat, would we re-sign Rizzo? I think I would. Is the Yankees organization going to re-sign Rizzo? I think they will, because I think it's one of them. You got to commit to what you traded for.
Yeah, I do want to say this, by the way. I don't know how we managed to forget. Congrats to the GOAT, the man who is not overrated, and if you say he is, you clearly don't know baseball. The captain, El Capitan, Derek Jeter, on getting into the Hall of Fame, and his legendary roast against the baseball writers. Oh,
that was
the
funny.
captain is amazing. If for those who don't know, he did say, "I want to thank all the baseball writers, except for the one who didn't vote for me," and that got the crowd going nuts. I don't know how many saw the entire speech, but if you haven't, I suggest you go and watch it. El Capitan, I am so proud of you, and I miss you so much. Please come home. Make us win again, please. I want days when you were still here.
Shoutouts to Tudo in the chat.
How you doing, Tudo?
Hell was I gonna say? He William also asked the question about Judge. I'm pretty sure he said, "Do you think that do you think that the Yankees will re-sign Judge? They better. If they don't re-sign Judge,
then
you can pretty much just trade everybody."
Hope is lost.
Speaking of boomers, since we were talking about boomers a minute ago, I saw a post on Facebook. Someone posted an article. Luca, it might have. I think it was in the Yankee Positive Nation group. I could be wrong. Is Aaron Judge worth $300 million? Someone comments, no one is worth that much in baseball. That's not this.
Aaron Judge is easily the best player on this team.
Yeah, and he's top 10 in baseball.
So ironic. I just popped on the post.
Oh, you literally just found it? Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, someone literally commented, no player is worth $300 million.
Somebody says he's not getting 10 years, so he's not getting $300 million.
You never know.
I don't like those long-term 10-year contracts.
I don't either. But with this current way baseball is going, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens.
Yeah. All right. So, any final thoughts on the baseball aspect?
Nope.
I'm not gonna think of no hitter's still intact as far as I know. Let me just double check before we transition. And no, it's not.
Says it was
gone.
A great speech. Gito showed what being a Yankee was all about, and he dated just about every model, supermodel out there.
Lucky bastard.
He's got good taste. I mean, that'd be for like a rated R podcast, but we're not going to talk about that.
I don't think that can ever happen in a million years, at least not on YouTube. If we ever had something like that on YouTube, forget it. We'd be no different than Chisel Adonis. They take every little video of his down.
He's going to help my fantasy team.
Yeah, fantasy team. 310 here in Italy. Some of my teammates are awake and watch you guys now. So that was shots to them. Tudo. 310 and
appreciate that. Really do, because I know that's not easy.
Yeah, and same thing with Potato when he does come on here on occasion. He's usually in the Czech Republic. It's about 6 hours ahead. Football. Exciting weekend. How many of us?
A
lot of upsets. How many?
My
people?
Team with the biggest one. One.
No, I wouldn't. Well, one of them. The Texans really. Honestly,
that's the biggest.
For me personally, not being biased, that Cincinnati game actually really surprised me. I thought Minnesota would have looked a lot better.
Do you guys think the Giants? I think don't really understand that one, so you might need to type it back a little bit. Maybe I'm just not understanding something. Oh, sorry, I meant to say, set. Okay. Evan says, congrats on your Steelers. Obviously, the Giants have a lot of work to do. I kind of want to get to that a little first, but obviously I do want to recap the NFL weekend and, just like do some stuff like that. Obviously, the Raiders are playing right now against the Ravens. Sammy Watkins just got a reception.
Big game.
7-0 in that game. And actually, it's one of my picks. So we do a pick system, 3, 2, and 1 points. Sean's leading right now. I think he's tied with Luca, if I'm not mistaken. Is that true?
Yeah, the only game I got wrong was that Steeler game.
Yeah, New England didn't win, and Jacksonville didn't win. Didn't help me, so I'm rooting on the Ravens this game, but I have so many. When I mentioned, do you guys ever see the Giants turning things around? In terms of the New York Giants, it's definitely possible. I do want to get to that just real quick, and I know that there's more things in the NFL than just the Giants, but I just want to get it off my chest real quick. So, Luca watched a game with me yesterday, so he could probably just, back up some of the things I said and make some, really outside observations. The New York Giants did not play good yesterday. They didn't get blown out, but they were, they were outcoached, they were outplayed, out everything.
Morally, Alex, I'll be honest. People look at the score and say, they played a competitive game. I do. In that second half, they did
second half. What bothers me is how do you get worse in the second half than you were in the first half? They were ultimately worse.
That's the thing with Pittsburgh. Like, they started out really. I don't know if you guys were keeping track. I listened to the entire thing on radio. Actually, did not get in trouble at work, which I'm very happy about. I listened to the whole thing on radio, and it was just so frustrating because neither team could do a thing. It was all defense. And then the second half, it all broke open.
And the special teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. False start. Special teams. I'm kidding. Tudo says we usually wake up at 4 a.m. and hit the track, run 3-5 miles, depending on program, shower, breakfast, and the classes, meetings, then practice field. Holy shit.
Wow. Hard work and dedication. I love it.
Another touchdown, Marquise Brown.
Yes, fantasy points.
Fantasy points for Luca. Evan Smith says Williams scared because I don't know what Daniel Jones is. I also expected the defense to take take a step back, but not badly.
I'll say it like this. I'll put it like this, Giants fans. It's week 1. One game ain't gonna kill you. And that's the one thing. I saw so many posts yesterday. The Yankees season's over, and now the Giants season's over. It's not over. You got an extra game to work with now. So to say the season's over is a little bit of an overreaction.
It is an overreaction.
There's lots of time remaining. So I wouldn't, obviously there's things to be concerned about, things to worry about, but I wouldn't say the season's over yet. It's week 1. I'll be honest, I didn't expect my team to win yesterday. I thought they were going to get smacked yesterday.
We didn't expect the Texans to win.
We'll get to that eventually. So there's no reason to be panicking just yet. What's crazy too about that Texans game is so many people had them going 0-17, and those predictions got broken week 1.
Alex, are you seeing Twitter Giants fans are going crazy? Also in Chris's chat yesterday, the fans were going insane. And this ain't no offense to a content creator, but when I watch my game, I want to watch my game. I'm not watching. I don't want to keep track on Twitter. I don't want to keep track on like YouTube and stuff. I want to watch my game. I'm
the same way. I mean, I'll occasionally put on Chisel Adonis if he's live streaming, but I'm usually so into it, I'm not even looking at my phone.
Yeah. Halftime, I'll check in, but I usually, and then I write my notes and do everything else because I'm into the game. Tudo says even though rugby is a totally different sport, but we've been implementing most of Coach Coughlin's disciplinary team rules and philosophy to win some games.
Wow,
that's an interesting approach, Tudo.
Yeah,
shout out to you for that. So, Luca, obviously, I'll have you give your thoughts in just a second, but Giants fans, if you're going to give blame, you got to give it on everybody for this game. The coaches and the players are absolutely there. We could talk about the repeated, even ever since last year, the Jason Garrett play calls and stuff like that, but the defense they weren't good. I mean, the fact that you let Pat Shurmur and Teddy Bridgewater absolutely carve up the middle half of the field, that was not good. The missed tackles, that was not good. The first half they competed. The first half looked like similar to the first half of the New England game at different parts. And also there was literally, and I'm not lying to you guys when I say this, and I think Luca, shouts to Mizrahi in the chat. What was I going to say? It was a literal hour, 5:15 to 6:15, where the Giants did not have the ball, including halftime. What is that? Shout outs to Pete Simonetti in the chat. What's going on, Pete? He's probably got a lot of stuff to say about the Yankees and the Unicornios today, but obviously, maybe the Unicornios had magic today. I don't know. I don't hate Jason Garrett, but he has to do a better job of scheming receivers open and creating opportunities. Here's what I'll say. The defense, I obviously know all the problems with this team. Big win for the Steelers. says
Yes,
Mizrahi.
sir.
He knows it best. Sean does that.
I am so happy about that game. Shut a lot of people up.
What the first
I'm
half
trying
was?
to find a post on Twitter, Alex. The Browns got roasted by a Steelers fan. The Browns Twitter guy got roasted by a Steelers fan. He got caught in a joke, and I'm gonna screenshot it and send it to you just to share. I want you to see it. It's hilarious.
I'm
Just
gonna be
give me
scared.
one.
The thought came into my head, and I'm not gonna say it.
It's hilarious.
Alex, you gonna finish off what you're saying?
Yeah. So blame has to go on everybody. I think this is a year where we can't just keep with the exceptions of Joe Judge and Patrick Graham. Joe Judge ultimately pulled a stupid donkey move yesterday. Ee-aw, 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 ee-aw. That's what he did yesterday when he pulled out the challenge flag and threw it when you couldn't challenge a play and he lost a timeout. I don't care if the game is close at the end of the game. It's not close at the end of the game. You don't do that. That's a rookie head coaching mistake. Jason Garrett, I honestly thought at different points in the game yesterday. Now, obviously, Giants fans could have different opinions and stuff like that. Let's see. Listen, I actually did check out your video, Mizrahi. I actually did check out your video earlier today. I was actually doing prep for this, but I'll get to the further comment in just a second. I honestly thought at different points in the game, and I'm saying this a little bit of positive, but I'm not saying the Giants are going to go to the Super Bowl. There were points in the game where I thought the Giants were moving the ball well. I thought that a lot of points in the game, there was play calling issues. There was receivers dropping passes, Darius Slayton. I thought that the defense didn't really give enough time to the offense because, it's one thing, okay, the offense didn't.
Field and third down and fourth down, Alex. Teddy Bridgewater would have 3rd and 8, and he would just escape so many tackles or the defense would not give pressure to him, and he'd just throw the ball.
Yeah, and
I shared them when you're done.
Okay. With that being said, they were 3 for 3 on 4th down, and one of them was a 4th down and 7. There was one of the plays that really pissed me off. I actually didn't mention it in my podcast episode today. Bridgewater was being pressured, and then he heaves it. I almost hit the chair. I did hit the chair. He heaves it up. Cross-body throw. And it's a catch for, I believe it was Judy or somebody else.
Oh, I saw that play. That was crazy. By the way, pressure Jerry Judy.
For him on the back end.
Pressure Jerry Judy. I hope he gets better.
Remind me, who was the one who missed the tackle?
There was a couple of different plays. I don't know who it was in the backfield. Maybe it was Ojulari, but
that can happen.
Okay. So either way, he throws across his body. Someone makes a catch, and I'm like, where the hell? One of the other plays that pissed me off, which either was on the same drive, but it was in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Luka knows because I literally threw my hat down after it.
Alex, I think that static is coming from you because I have my mic muted. Luka, I don't know if you heard it or not.
Yeah, it's when Alex talks very loud.
There you go.
Yells.
Let me quickly switch.
It's because he talks too much and he talks too damn loud.
Screw you. Okay, so now I got this microphone. Anyway, okay, so what was it getting on? Okay, so 4th down and 1. The Giants have them stopped at like inside the 10 at least. 4th down, Teddy Bridgewater getting pressured. Xavier McKinney misses a tackle. Azeez Ojulari misses a tackle. Throws it down, not even to the line of scrimmage to Albert Ogbonunam. Blake Martinez misses the tackle, and he goes into the end zone for a touchdown. I screamed at the TV. I'm like, how the fuck do you not tackle him there? One of the plays that really pissed me off. And I know this defense is better than that. That's the problem. We can't be making excuses anymore, John.
That's Blake Martinez's expertise. He's a great tackler.
Yes. We cannot be making excuses anymore for anybody. And trust me, I'm going to go off on Daniel Jones for one of the plays that he did. There was a couple other plays, but anyway, the biggest mistake that he made. In terms of the defense, like people saying, Patrick Graham, he knows how to adjust. Well, obviously this was a top 10 defense. last year. I get that. But also, look at the 49er game. Look at the
Cardinal game?
the Cardinal game. Look at the Eagle game. Look at the Ravens game. Look at the Browns game, though they didn't really have great personnel. What were those games? Those were 5 losses right there. One of them was really costing us the game, and that was the one against the Eagles. So, and we cannot have new problems. We really can when we're supposed to be winning. We cannot have new problems. The defense started getting injured, started playing bad in 2017. I'm sorry. I hate to really, just dimmer the light here because this is arguably like 2017 in a little bit of ways because the Giants had expectations that year. I'm not saying Joe Judge is Ben McAdoo, but come on. In terms of the offense, let's talk about Daniel Jones because I've been so much on the train. I'm still on the train, but I'm like, I need to see more. I'm not going to defend. He played well in the first half, okay? Sterling Shepard, he was, he was there. He was the security blanket that Daniel Jones needed. I really don't
played
like
excellent yesterday.
Huh?
He was everywhere.
Yeah. And hopefully he stays on the field, unlike a certain Pro Bowler. What was I going to say? With that being said, I don't like the fact that they didn't get Galladay involved much more till, garbage time. They had him on a couple, I think they're called dig routes, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that, or crossing routes, or I don't know. But they had him, which was one of the plays that I remember, which was one of the first plays in that second game against the Eagles last year, after a sack where he threw to Darius Slayton, that was a first down. Daniel Jones, on the ensuing drive, and I thought the Giants, in some cases, responded well. I'm not saying they did all the time. Responded well, like after they hit the field goal, Giants went down for a touchdown. If they could have a couple more of those drives, then we would obviously be talking about something different. Obviously, there's no such thing as perfection. But that was, I believe, either after the Giants either made a stop. That's a whole different flag right there. But what was I going to say? You're down. What was the score at that point? 17-7. So
yeah,
Daniel Jones, and it's not like it was 3rd and 19. It was 3rd and 2. You have to slide. You really have to slide there. I understand. You're trying to go over the linebacker, or you're trying to get more yards. Slide. If they hit you, it's a personal foul penalty, and even then, it's 4th down in like inches. So it's really easy to convert. But that play really pissed me off. And then he threw a couple of almost interceptions that really should have been intercepted. Kyle Fuller almost had one. Maybe Justin Simmons or some of the other defensive backs. Justin Simmons, though, would have gotten his ass kicked by fucking Nick Gates, though. At that one play where Jones slid down and Justin Simmons is like this, and Nick Gates pushed him and said, what the fuck did you do? And that was funny. That's why I like Nick Gates. Raider touchdown, by the way. What the hell else do I have to talk about with this Giants team? No running game. No running game whatsoever. And I get it. Saquon Barkley only had 10 carries. He had almost a reception in the end zone, and we could talk about all this other stuff. Here's my analogy to why the Giants did not run the football well yesterday. Obviously, they had to abandon the run early. That was facts because they were not doing stuff on offense, and the defense was not, they were staying on the field because they could not get off the field on 3rd and 4th down. I feel like the injury to Shane Lemieux really did something for the Giants. Ben Bradison's his weakness is running game. Really the opposite of what this offensive line experienced last year, because their thing was the running game, not the passing game, not pass blocking. Bradison's a pass blocker, not a run blocker. So once Lemieux came out after the first 3 series, and that's injury related. That's not snaps. That's injury related that I just, learned about. You have to learn to run. And I didn't know till this morning that was the reason for him being out. But Ben Bradison, he has to learn to run block. He has to learn to run block. And honestly, I was a fan of it last year. I want to see the future offensive line. I'm not so on the train of seeing Nate Solder a lot. I mean, obviously, we have a tough defense coming up. I don't care what they did in week 1, even though I'll probably change my narrative on that probably. We have a tough defense coming up. Matt Parrott has to get some reps. He had one bad snap. Basically, Nick Gates messed the snap count off. mess the snap count up. That's what happens when you're irritated, right? But I want to see his future offensive line. If Lemieux's ready to go, he's probably not going to be. If he's ready to go, you play him because he got better in pass protection, I think. So, and the multiple missed tackles, obviously I touched on that. No pressure there was pressure on the quarterback. No, he was escaping, so you have to hit him. Other than it being a coverage sack, you have to hit him. And the problem is when they were sending the blitzes, nobody was covering on the back end. Logan Ryan was getting beat, though he did force a fumble and get a sack. Logan Ryan was getting beat. Donnie Holmes was getting beat. Xavier McKinney was getting beat. Freaking Dory Jackson was getting beat. James Bradbury was getting beat. Everybody was getting beat on the back end. So if we're gonna, if for Giants fans, in terms of expectations, you have your expectations, whatever. I'm not gonna dictate. But if we didn't do great in week 1, when the defense arguably had the most continuity coming into the season, and that unit didn't do great coming into week 1, where the offense, you could somewhat make the excuse that Galladay wasn't on the field in the preseason, same with Kadarius Toney, same with Kyle Rudolph and some of these other guys. Defense had continuity, and they screwed up. We have to put everybody on a level playing field starting this year, because if we're just going to get rid of Jason Garrett, Daniel Jones, and Dave Gettleman, it has to be everybody across the board. And I'm not saying sink the ship yet. I'm not saying jump off the ship, because I think there is a good chance for right now that we do win on Thursday, because Taylor Heinicke's now the starting quarterback. He did okay, apparently, from what I hear from people that were watching the game. But I have to get to some of these comments. And actually, as I do that, you know what? Let me go through before I let Luca talk. So once again, shouts to Pete Simonetti, who was in the chat.
Got to mention too.
Pete, I might be interested in NYY news, so keep me on the tab.
Well,
I'm
in the chat right now.
Did y'all see during that Washington game yesterday, they had a sewage leak in the stands?
I nominate the Washington Sewer Rats to be their next name.
If I paid for them seats, I'd ask for a refund. And by the way, the other fan thing I wanted to mention too, y'all see that cat that fell off the upper deck at the Hurricanes game? The guy caught it and saved
with
it.
The American flag, yes.
That was wild.
That was
also a New Jersey man was charged with beating his girlfriend and kidnapping her after the Giants game yesterday.
Y'all literally.
Okay, that's
the type of story that gets Eagles fans looking at Giants fans saying they're the worst.
Yeah,
that's stupid. Like, why would you do that? I'd rather punch a hole in the wall and do some stupid shit like that. Like, grow up.
Like, honestly. So I'm just gonna go through some of these comments before I let Luca go, because he did watch the game with me. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, I did check out. That was garbage yesterday. Trash. We're better than that. And big time supporter Jones, but my Katie. And basically he's saying his patience for Daniel Jones is running thin. Tudo says, I was 10 years old when Coughlin took over the New York Giants. Love the fact that he changed the entire Giants culture overnight. Miz also said, get the ball to get the ball to Galladay earlier and got to find some type of run game. Jason says he's complimenting Miz's video. Same thing with Evan. He also says that he spoke for the entire Giants fan base. It's old enough. We cannot accept mediocrity, and we aren't even that. When did we become Lions or Jets fans? Come on now. Obviously, Evan was agreeing with me in terms of the one play with Upward and the judge challenge. Jagger said that game got me really mad. I'm on the game. I'm on the same opinion as you, Jagger. Tudo says we were able to watch the entire second time all over. You're saying when Jay lost because of a lack of effort in all three phases. I think it was just a lack of execution, but it could be effort definitely as well. I thought Daniel Jones has been working on ball security the past 2 offseasons. I'm sick and tired of this guy turning over the ball in the red zone. No, I'm on the same page with you, even though I have a Daniel Jones T-shirt. Tudo says never blame a bad or losing game on the players. If the food tastes awful, it's the chefs, not the ingredients. Okay, that's
I disagree with that.
That can be.
I disagree with that 100%.
No, I'm gonna. There's ways that can be maneuvered on both sides of the aisle.
No, you blame everybody. You don't blame just the coaching staff. You blame everybody.
No, definitely. Jagger says, "I can't believe the Eagles are number one in the division."
You should be embarrassed.
Eagles fans are probably talking like they're going to win the Super Bowl again when they beat the Falcons.
I don't understand. Yeah.
That's one thing I don't miss about PAs.
The 49ers, even though they made the games way close than it should be, at the end of the game against the Lions, they better kick ass. They better kick their ass next week. They really. I mean, that's going to be fun for Gavin and Braden, but
oh god,
just the fantasy chat's going to blow up.
Yeah, that ought to be interesting.
Yeah, Luca. Obviously, you were watching the game with me.
All right, so my thoughts on the game. I really thought. Well, everybody's complaining about Jason Garrett and all, but Authentic mentioned it in Hub's chat yesterday. Not Hub's chat, but, on the stream.
Yeah, I was
there. You guys got to stop blaming Jason Garrett. I mean, I get it. His concepts aren't great. You have the short routes, the crossing routes, whatever. But it's the player's job to execute the plays. Like, if a play goes wrong, you can't just blame the offensive coordinator. If somebody runs a run... Well, 3 players are involved. Let's just say there's a short route to Kenny Galladay, a stick route that's short of the sticks. Jason Garrett's involved, Daniel Jones is involved, and Kenny Galladay's involved. First, what do you see on the defense? Does Daniel Jones read the defense? Does Jason Garrett read the defense? Snap is up. Is the offensive line protecting Daniel Jones? Is Daniel Jones going through his progressions? Is he seeing the entire field? Is he reading the defense? Is a blitz coming? Are they running zone? Whatever. Makes the throw. Is the what?
I just want to say that two things. Daniel Jones had the second most cleanest pocket of his career yesterday. B, the Giants' offensive line did better than the Jets, so screw you.
No, Alex. I'm just saying.
No, I know.
I'm saying what's going through, the fan. What should be going through a fan's mind is the offensive line protecting him. When Daniel Jones makes that throw to Galladay, has he looked over the entire field? Galladay's open, right? Does he make the throw on target? Does Kenny Galladay have to adjust? Does Galladay make the catch? You can't just blame you can't just keep blaming Jason Garrett. And Hub mentioned it yesterday on his stream. I'm pretty sure the offensive and defensive coordinators run their game plan through the head coach, correct?
Yes.
If the head coach doesn't see that the offensive game plan is working, why can't you tell your coordinator, say, hey, let's keep going down the field. We were just killing them downfield. Why can't we go vertical? Go through the middle of the field, past the first down markers. You can't be running all the short stuff, whatever. You got to blame everybody. Daniel Jones, I think, had a solid game yesterday. I mean, yeah, there were some bad throws and obviously the bad fumble, which he needs to secure the ball.
40 turnovers in 28 games.
Yeah, that's pretty horrendous. But anyway, what was I going to say? You got to blame everybody at this point. You can't give anybody breaks. This is your year, Alex. This is the Giants' year.
Oh, this is my year. Thank you, Luca.
Alex, your team hasn't had a winning record in literally 4 years.
This is your year. And I was actually listening to a clip of Boomer and Gio. I'm not sure if Alex is going to agree with these points. Here's what Boomer said. Joe Judge needs to lay off these guys a little bit and tune for Thursday night's game.
No.
Because that's how you lose a locker room in this situation.
No. I mean, he's a player, but do you see the way they were tackling? Oh, come on. Did you see the way they were tackling? Did you see the way they were covering people? Come on. What? Yeah, let's be less accountable. Let's coach them like the fucking Yankees. No. Huh?
He said less Belichickian. And I was going to say also, Gio's like, you can't say it's week 1 for the Giants because they need to prove themselves. This isn't like the Green Bay Packers where they were the first seed in the NFC, and they have Aaron Rodgers who won the MVP. You could say it's week 1 for them, but the Giants need to get a head start early. I mean, do you think he has a point there?
I think so.
I think he's got a better point than Boomer. I mean, lay off of them? That doesn't make a lot of sense.
I got to agree. But in overall talks, I thought the Giants played too soft to coverage yesterday. I thought the game plan was mediocre on defense, honestly. I mean, guys were getting beat left and right, obviously. I mean, Graham was trying to adjust because he saw guys getting beat man-to-man coverage. But playing too soft a zone, like 3rd and 8, you're playing zone where KJ Hamler is just going to go through the seam and through the open space and just catch a sideline pass. Like, come on.
That pissed
Draw
me
up
off.
a blitz. Draw up a blitz. Go man-to-man. Stop running the zone crap. That's being too conservative. In other words, what do I really have to say? And the Giants should stop shooting themselves in the foot with all these stupid mistakes. Whether it's the bad passes or whatever. I mean, bad passes are going to happen, but all these drops, the penalties, all this nonsense and stupid shit, the bad tackles, you got to stop shooting yourselves in the foot. You're supposed to be this playoff team that might win your division, a wild card, whatever. You're supposed to be a playoff team. Start acting like it. But in my opinion, you guys will evaluate. Well, I think I think Giants fans should get an answer on Daniel Jones earlier than the Jets did on Sam Darnold. I felt like, as a consensus, as the fan base last year, the Jets got the consensus on Darnold about week 12 because he had all his weapons, whatever. Daniel Jones has his weapons. The offensive line looked solid yesterday in pass protection. I mean, it looked okay, but the run blocking wasn't there, obviously. Daniel Jones has the tools. He has the tools around him. He has the arm and everything. Just got to stop making those stupid mistakes. But and all these content creators on the doom and gloom shit. I know I'm taking after your buddy Cop Hizzle, Alex, because I actually watch his videos, even though I'm not a Giants fan. What was I going to say? And then I'm not going to mention the content creator because they don't deserve my respect for this, even as a football fan. First, his headline on his video today says, Jalen Hurts has the it factor. From what I've seen from Daniel Jones, he doesn't. How does Jalen Hurts have the it factor in year 2, but Daniel Jones not in year 3?
I know you're referencing, but I'm not even going to go into that because it's 1 week.
Right.
It's literally
the Giants lost to the Broncos. I mean, they shouldn't have lost that way, but that's like a competitive defense. The Eagles beat the freaking Falcons.
Yeah.
Trash as hell.
What's sad was that game was close for a little while.
Yeah,
it was 7-6 at one point,
and then they started giving up. Real quickly,
and the same content creator said, I'm not going to be mad if the Giants lose on Sunday. Bullshit, you're going to be mad.
They always say that. They're always going to say that.
Tell me one fan who doesn't get mad when their team loses. Unless it was me last year.
Oh, unless it's like your expectations are so low, or you just expect your team to be bad that you're like, oh well, they lost again. What else is new?
I'm telling you, this is a game the Giants could have won. So
should have won.
Yeah, they should have won. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. It's just stop making these stupid mistakes. Start to blame everybody now. If Joe Judge has to be more aware of the game plans, in my opinion, and he can't be making stupid mistakes like he did with that challenge flag.
I'm all for I'm all for just like all the I love the fact that, and first of all, someone just went out today, a different content creator who's lesser known. He only has like he's not popular, but he ripped Giants fans for a certain event that I'm not gonna actually I'm not gonna go over because that's gonna get too specific. With that being said, you have to blame everybody. Luca's right. As I said, you have to blame everybody in this type of year. If you don't blame everybody, then you're gonna end up possibly going to the next year. If you keep Judge in year 3, if you keep Judge in year 3. And he goes bad or something like that. What's going to happen is that you're going to be wondering, well, what if we hired another head coach? Whatever. But we can't be sinking the ship right now. We can't be doing that. I'm just speaking for everybody. We can't be sinking the ship. We can't be doing that stuff. It's 1 week, and there are teams. Once again, I'm not defending the Giants for starting 0-1 10 of the past 11 seasons. But there are teams that start 0-1, then go to 1-1. And with the fact that, Taylor Heineke, substituted for Ryan Fitzpatrick this week, and he lost the quarterback job, that has to tell something. But once again, this team has to be better. They have to make adjustments going into week 2. And if they don't make adjustments, then starting off
a
0-2,
long year.
It's gonna make me sick, honestly. Evan says, I don't think Judge is trying to be Belichick. They have to start winning games in order to start believing in their head coach. He says a lot of things, but if we don't win, it won't matter. Jason says, in garbage time, that read and pass Jones had should have been a pick 6, but it was dropped. It was brutal. I think you're talking about the one to Barkley, if I'm not mistaken. Happened in the end zone in front of me. We could see it coming, but he still threw it. Can't happen. And the fact that he doesn't go through his progressions, and he does not, and I mean just does not. He looks at a receiver and then he throws it to him. You have to look around. Can't be a one-read quarterback, especially in this league. I was going to say, I think the Giants will get their first one against the Falcons. We'll see. I'm not going
in reference
live
to what Evan is saying. I like, I'll say, I like Bad Dog. I like his Yankee content. It's my favorite, along with Pete Simonetti, obviously. But it's just, I don't like those fans that are too reactionary, honestly. Like, be reasonable. Like, you know what? Take positives, take negatives, whatever. But just chill with the overreactions. Football's back. Let's enjoy it all. That's my thing. And
Sean,
don't
all right, you go ahead.
No. I'm done.
Oh, all right. Sean,
it's
you
not
got
an
anything?
attack. I shouldn't say it's not an attack, but it's just like, Giants fans who get all reaction. Oh, Daniel Jones is not it and shit. Of course, you can pick on Daniel Jones, but just don't give up on him.
Yeah, like I said, it's literally one game. There's time. There's 16 more games this season. 17 more weeks of football.
I'm betting there's people out there who want to be right and say, oh, Daniel Jones was never the guy. And I saw somebody on Twitter who's a Jets fan actually say, it's funny because the Giants passed on Justin Herbert and Justin Fields in 2 straight drafts. That's not a justified. That question hasn't even been answered yet.
No, because you don't even know what Fields is going to be with Matt Nagy as your head coach. And
and they're coaching last night.
I don't get this quarterback by commit. I don't get this quarterback by committee bullshit, honestly. Evan says last year Patrick Graham was sending blitzes all over the field. He's actually, I would tend to disagree with you there because they have I'm pretty sure just off the eye test. I'm not going over stats and stuff like that. I want to say he sent more blitzes there. And I'm not saying all season, but more of a percentage. Because last year they had Isaac Yeadom as the second cornerback and some other pieces that weren't really supposed to fit there. By week 10, all the people who are saying Daniel Jones isn't the guy will be wrong. Hey, listen,
Evan, I like that attitude.
I would love that.
I like that attitude.
I would love that answer.
You would just criticize Daniel Jones, and it's fair to criticize him like you just did. I love that answer. I love the positivity that says, you know what, Daniel Jones is going to rebound from this. And you know what? He's going to have one hell of a next couple of weeks or whatever. He's going to rebound. He's going to do this. He's not the Giants doom and gloom. It's like, Daniel Jones is. Shut up.
Blame everybody. And blame everybody, really. Just blame every. And also someone who doesn't really get any consideration is John Mara, freaking boomer. Oh, I like the taunting penalty. Freaking boomer. Sean,
taunting penalties this weekend.
Sean, you got any comments about the Giants game?
I'll just say this, as I said before, it's only week 1. I wouldn't read too, I shouldn't say I wouldn't read too much into it. I wouldn't freak out. I really like the way Luca put it. Make your complaints about week 1, but don't give up on the season because of week 1. You break it down, you learn from your mistakes, you move on. That was a very winnable game for New York. And I just felt like it was a lot of underachieving and a lot of mistakes that need to be worked out. Now, I didn't get to see the game. I've only heard about it from people at work. I know a few people that were watching the game. So I can't give you the full in-depth analysis. All I can really tell you is, you iron out the mistakes, and there, this game on Thursday night against Washington, Heineke's obviously not, going to be the starting QB. That should be an advantage for the defense. So if they can't, if the defense cannot pick him apart, then I would start to worry a little bit. But like I said, I really can't go too deep. I can actually go a little bit more in depth with the Jet game because we were watching that earlier today, or yesterday, late last night.
What was I going to say? Damn one. See, here's what I want to go about this, and obviously I'll read one more comment, and then we're going to go to some of the other NFL games. Is that I kind of want to be a little optimistic because the Falcons are really bad. If the Giants lose in week 2 because they're expected to, and obviously Washington lost in week 1, so that was obviously not great for them. And also to note, just as a side note, not even dealing with the Giants, the Jaguars won in week 1 last year, and what did they do the rest of the season?
They lost off 15 games remaining.
Yeah.
So that could be the
one thing that amazed me about that Washington game. Y'all see how many Chargers fans were in that crowd?
Yeah, you were showing me like the video or whatever. I'm like, oh my god.
Where did all them Chargers fans come from? Are they all on the East Coast?
They started winning. That's the thing.
Yeah, but even when they were winning, they couldn't fill up their own stadium.
Exactly. I'd also like to say so much for the people saying that Jets fans don't exist. They had a pretty good showing in Carolina.
From what I heard, that is true.
I did notice that. But who doesn't love Charlotte? Charlotte's a beautiful city. If you think otherwise, then you've never been.
Yeah. William says, I've always been a big Matt Ryan fan. It kills me how much he got sacked in the game. And I still can't believe the Falcons had a 28-3 lead. Oh, boy, yeah.
I feel bad.
Tom Brady trolled them. Tom Brady trolled the hell out of him today because he was doing like a video or something. I don't know what it was for. In the background, he had his laptop on, and it said 328 on it. I was in a time. I was like, wow.
I feel bad for Matt Ryan.
If I were him, I would have requested a trade as soon as Julio got traded, which Mike Vrabel called him out after that game yesterday. So, Alex, I want to ask Alex because he's the one that's criticized these two teams the most. How do you feel after that Arizona-Tennessee game? How do you feel?
Well, it could be a win-win and a lose-lose situation here, so I'll tell you how. Arizona could be overrated and win they played well. Kyler Murray played well. That's not my issue with them. My issue with them is not the offense. But with that being said, though, who do they? I have my playoff predictor. Someone, you know what? I'm going to do my playoff predictor. See who they play next week. Because if it's just 1 week and then they start losing, they'll win, but they'll do bad, then they're overrated. If the Titans start out bad and they don't do good, well, they're overrated. Their offensive line sucked. Chandler Jones had like 5 sacks.
Yeah.
That's sacks. Like,
that game I completely overestimated. I mean, me and Sean were talking about it was going to be an offensive shootout.
Yeah. Tennessee's offense, where the hell was it?
Yeah.
Freaking J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones completely killed it.
I actually, let's see. Marcus Golden. Yeah, Chandler Jones, Michael Dogby. Yeah, freaking Jesus Christmas Christ. Let's see. Yeah, Tannehill sacked 6 times. They even put in Matthias Farley.
Yeah.
Who as a safety, who's a quarterback for one play. I don't know what they were trying to do there. Maybe some stupid trick play. But they play Minnesota next week. I fully expect them to win.
I would imagine they would.
I mean, Minnesota put up a good fight. They almost tied, but
I really don't know who's going to win that game now.
No, I think Arizona's going to win. Personally,
Arizona, Minnesota. I thought you said Titans, Minnesota. I was just about to say, yeah, Arizona's going to win that game. Yeah, I have full confidence that they're going to win.
Yeah. Real quickly, Tudo, if players' moves and techniques are incorrect and wrong, it's the coach's fault 100%. Coaches are responsible for recruiting, schemes, training, and practices from A to Z.
I got to disagree with that again. I mean, yes, you can blame the coaches, but let's just say
so before you said it was the coaches, now you say it's the players.
Wait, you're talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Sean.
No, like, if you got to blame both, really. I mean, if Sean's out in the football field, I throw him a pass and he drops it, whose fault is it? Mine? Unless it's a bad pass.
Well, I think what Tudo is saying is the coaches are the one that teach you how to catch that football. So if I don't catch it, Okay,
I mean,
yeah,
that
I
should
think you
be
got me
ingrained in
there.
their head to catch the football, but it's much more complex than that. It's running a route. You've seen this stuff before in the practice field. You've seen this stuff before, especially if you're year two in the offense. Players deserve the blame. Players deserve the blame. Faulty execution's not going to get you anywhere.
No, absolutely. So that's pretty much it for my Giant stuff. Luca, your game, and then we'll go into some of the other NFL games.
Can't forget mine, the only one that actually has a victory Monday today.
All right.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang, Steeler game.
Diving into my game.
By the way, real quickly, we got none of the scores right. Unless this game is favorable, we got none of our scores right because we predicted last week. I kept track of all of that.
Oh, you actually did? I honestly don't even remember what I said.
All right, so Jets, Panthers, Sam Darnold's supposed revenge game. I did not think that was the case. I thought he played poorly than the stats actually showed. Anyway,
Ooh.
tales of two halves for the Jets. Second half much better than the first. O-line was atrocious. They looked good on paper, but their execution was terrible. 6 sacks of Zach Wilson. Run blocking was abysmal. And although they did play better when Mekhi Becton was out of the game in half two. Zach Wilson has had a much better second half than the first. Definitely has the tools to be a quarterback in this league. Showed poise and good footwork. Victim of drops and bad offensive line play, although he did throw a crappy interception. And I think it was the second quarter. But there were some errors he did make, like taking 2 sacks. Rookie quarterback is going to rookie quarterback. They're going to take bad sacks. They're going to throw interceptions, whatever. But I thought Zach looked much better in the second half. I'm not a glass half full guy, so I'm not going to tell you he did great. I thought he looked okay to decent. Is it better? Is it better than the last 3 rookie QB debuts for the Jets? No. But you know what? If the offensive line gets better, he's going to get better too. Corey Davis appears to be the Jets' number 1 wide receiver finally. 5 receptions, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. Elijah Moore underperformed in his rookie debut. A reception and -3 yards. He really wasn't targeted that much or seeing the field that often, or at least seeing any reps. I mean, he was on the field, but he was just not targeted. He wasn't getting open. The separation was not there. Tight end group is awful. We need upgrades ASAP. You can't be going into week 2 with Daniel Brown, Ryan Griffin, and Tyler Kroft as your tight ends. I mean, Kroft played solid as a receiving tight end, but yeah, we just need upgrades. Not using Denzel Mims' second-round pick from last year is quite inexcusable. I mean, we passed up Chase Claypool to get this guy. 1 reception, 40 yards for Mims in a pretty important play. You cannot, bench your second round pick from last year, especially when you are bereft of talent like the Jets are on the roster in general. They need to get him more reps. Mike LaFleur does need to be a little more creative. I thought the first down runs to the left with Tevin Coleman reminded me of Adam Gase and Frank Gore, but I'll give LaFleur a mulligan. He is a rookie offensive coordinator, but he just needs to do better utilizing those pieces around him in general. And overall, I think he's got to do a better, obviously, but you can't get cute with these type of things, Defense lacked pressure on Sam Darnold, 1 sack only. They weren't getting much run stoppage. Let me see what else is in my notes. Bryce Hall and Michael Carter showed up in the secondary. Nice games. I thought the defense overachieved, honestly. I expected them to be dreadful, especially that the pass rush was not getting there. To take away also, Matt Amendola, kicker, supposed to be our kicker, since Braden Mann is now out, the punter. He can punt and kick. I was very impressed with his punting and kicking ability. Christian McCaffrey had an all-around field day against the Jets. 21 carries, 98 yards, 9 receptions, 89 yards. So he was the go-to weapon for Darnold, in my opinion. But I think Darnold benefited because of him, not McCaffrey benefiting because of Darnold.
Okay, so I'll give my thoughts on the game. I didn't think that Darnold made
I don't know why I don't know why the CBS booth was praising him. Oh, this is the guy we didn't see.
It wasn't just CBS. A lot of people I saw were giving him praise.
Oh, this is the guy we didn't see in New York. He's had these type of performances before, but
yeah, everybody forgets too. He's had good starts with the Jets.
He was just freaking missing them.
He's had good games with the Jets. It's not like every single game he played was atrocious.
Right.
I just don't think that. I think people a little bit overrated him yesterday. He did have that great bomb to Robbie Anderson, though, to kind of stick.
That was the only reception of Anderson's game. Otherwise, he was shut down.
Did he have a 100-yard receiver?
Actually, no.
I mean, that could show spreading the ball. Like Marshall made some good plays, but I think
Marshall did shit for my fantasy team.
Well, that's what happens when you root against yourself. With that being said, I don't think he made any fantastic plays. I think he's got to get in there a little bit, but I don't know. I don't want to say
his hands didn't have a lot of zip. It always has a lot of what do you call it? He has a noodle arm. No offense, he has a noodle arm. Like he looks like Pennington post arm injury. When that ball is not flying with zip, it's just spinning and spinning and spinning. It's not a clear spiral. I'm sorry, that's been the thing with Sam Darnold since his shoulder injury last year. That ball is not coming clean out of his hands.
Well, he might be a game manager. I'm not saying that he is or he isn't, but he might be a game manager now that he's in Carolina. He's got some pretty good weapons, so we'll see. I think that the Panthers are going to be a good team this year. But Sean, any thoughts?
I mean, I saw more of this game than I did the Giant game. Definitely an abysmal start for the Jets in the first half. I like how they made a comeback. I think it was too little too late. I think if they had had that momentum at the start, I think they probably could have won or maybe should have won. I think one thing that bothered me with Zach Wilson was he showed flashes of what he can do. It felt like the people around him were not giving him the support that he needed. The O-line looked like they struggled. I know he got hit a few times. His receivers, I know more. He didn't live completely up to the hype in his debut, but it's something to build off of. With the Jets, right. I said it at the start of the year. You don't have to go out there and win every game. It's not, because they're not a Super Bowl contender. But if you can at least keep them competitive, show what you can do, it's a step in the right direction. You learn from losses.
Show some resiliency, and I don't think that resiliency should go overlooked, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and the one thing that makes me really happy, even though we didn't win the game, I finally saw some second half coaching adjustments.
Yeah,
I never saw that with Gates, and I never saw that with Bowles.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, all in all, with the Jets again, it's
gonna be a process.
I definitely, it's a long process. I know the defense really did struggle. I mean, Christian McCaffrey. How can you stop Christian McCaffrey? It's next to impossible. It don't matter who's out there. What defense? So,
I think Darnold has even less of a good game if McCaffrey's not on the field. Honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
He was the key to the offense.
Well, that's because McCaffrey's a literal god. He's a superhuman. So all in all, my biggest thing with the Jets. Now you see what you need to work on, stuff like that. Break it down because week 2, I'll be honest, New England did not look all that great. So I think
New England's pretty vulnerable, Sean.
I think that's a winnable game for the Jets. I really do. So I can't wait to see that Sunday.
Do. My thing is
it Sunday or Monday?
It's going to be Sunday.
My
honest thing is, the Panthers were sending a lot of 4-man rushes, and the Jets' offensive line struggled, and I really don't get that. But we need to clean up the offensive line this week. We need to add some bodies. Also, I want to go over the injuries. Freaking injuries, man. I hate injuries. But
who doesn't?
We have a laundry list of injuries. So Mekhi Becton out 4 to 6 weeks with a dislocated kneecap.
I heard Becton struggled too. He
did.
Yeah.
And he's going to get arthroscopic surgery. casuals overreacted because, Mekhi Becton's – I literally saw a Giants fan tweet at the time of the injury, oh, everybody laughs at Andrew Thomas, but Mekhi Becton's over here getting hurt because of how big he is. First of all, you fucking idiot. Stay with your Giants. Second of all, if you watch the play, he got tripped up by a defensive lineman. So keep your mouth shut, watch the replay, be educated, fuck the Giants.
Okay.
Remember, Snoopy Bowl champions, Alex.
No.
You don't have the right to talk.
No.
They beat you. They beat you.
But Luca, no.
They beat you.
No, yeah, okay, we get that. But Luca wants to use PFF. When he's always busting my balls about PFF. Andrew Thomas.
Jets have a better chance to win the Super Bowl. I hope you know that.
No.
Okay,
yes.
Andrew Thomas did play better than Mekhi Becton yesterday. I'll admit that. I'll firsthand admit that.
It's storming outside, but okay. No,
actually, I'm in the basement, so I can't even tell. I had no idea. I mean, my computer says it's raining.
Anyway, LaMarcus Joyner, safety, is out for the season with a triceps tear. Punter Braden Mann is out for 4-6 weeks with a knee injury. Jamian Sherwood, sprained ankle, linebacker, rookie, out for a couple of weeks. Linebacker Blake Cashman, hamstring, out for a couple of weeks.
Well, let me ask you a question.
This guy never sees the field. This guy is never healthy, and he's not showing anything. Cut his ass today.
Look, I have a question for you. So you said Amendola was a good punter. I didn't see the whole, like I said, I didn't see everything. When he's kicking field goals, who was
He didn't kick an entire field goal the entire game, Sean.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Remember, we went for 2.
Yeah, but what about the extra points? Oh, yeah.
Idiot.
I am exhausted. I have not.
He was good he made Wednesday. One bad kickoff, but he was good on punts.
Okay, but then I'll ask you this: who would you put as your place holder?
Backup QB.
I said the same thing. I always thought it should be the backup QB because at least if you're gonna run a fake, at least you got a quarterback out there, not the punter.
Let me look at the punters.
That's the one thing Madden. That's the one thing I could agree with Madden.
Keelan Cole and Jamison Crowder could return Sunday versus the Patriots. That'll be big for Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Let me look at the punters because there should be a decent market for them. I know Jordan Berry's.
Ooh. Flag?
But again, to Sean's point, I thought Mac Jones played well against the Dolphins, but they had a lot of penalties and a lot of turnovers. So I really think New England's vulnerable, but we got to freaking improve on the offensive line. That's going to be the key to winning, honestly.
How did you feel about Tua's performance on I didn't see anything really special out of him. Like,
I didn't really see the game, Sean, I'll be honest, but I was hearing
I was just looking at his numbers.
About it.
I saw his numbers. They weren't, like, amazing, but...
Right. All right. I'm going to look at available punters right now.
Give me 1 second.
Yep.
Available. We've got Thomas Morstead, Britton Colquitt, Chris Jones, Johnny Townsend, Ty Long, J.K. Scott, and a bunch of, others. So... there's definitely a market out there. You could just put Braden Mann on IR and then put him on for, sign another kick for a couple of weeks. I mean, we're going to have to get some bodies in there regardless. I know Jets fans were bringing up Earl Thomas to play safety.
Yikes.
That's a definitely interesting tactic. I forgot who they also brought up, but... I don't know. It's going to be interesting with this team. It's either going to have to use some undrafted free agents. You're going to have to go veterans, which the Jets weren't aiming to do this year. They wanted to go all youth movement.
Can't hate that. Oh, you got to catch it.
I'd like to
also
note on the Monday Night Football, I think it was the pregame or whatever, Eli Manning, his fire alarm went off.
I've heard. I'm not going to lie. One thing I've heard tonight, I've seen a lot of posts about it. The Eli Payton reaction show they're having, I think on ESPN2, seems to be very popular with the fans. I'm hearing they love it.
Positivity.
I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I kind of want to, I kind of want to see how that, I want to see that after the game, see how that went, because I'm hearing, I'll be like Aaron Boone. I'm hearing some good things, bro. Lamar looks like garbage right now. Did you just see that pass?
Let me see. Oh, that might have been batted.
Yeah, but even before, Lamar's overthrown some of his receivers.
Lamar,
He's still showing he can't throw a football, so that makes me happy.
And I'm gonna say off-topic question. Michael K tweets. Curious to hear what you think. Let me see. Yankees have 18 games remaining, starting with tomorrow against the Orioles. So how many of the 18 do they have to win to grab one of the wild cards?
All of them.
I say you really got to put yourself in a good stretch because Toronto's not.
I'm going to say, if I'm going to be realistic, 12 at a minimum. Maybe more.
12.
I'm going to say 12.
I agree.
Remember, the elimination number is down to 10, so if you lose 10,
you're poo-poo.
Rip.
Did you hear about Eli Manning, Alex?
I heard everything you guys were saying, so yes.
Stalker.
And some people are questioning why the Ravens are not running the ball.
Because they're trying to prove Lamar can throw a football, and it's not
honestly,
working.
From what I've been seeing in the limited amount of not limited, but in the snaps I did see, Las Vegas defense, I don't know. Well, actually, no.
Lamar's really not looking himself, though.
Honestly, if you look at the stats, yards per carry, they have 6 yards per carry on the ground with 90 rushing yards, but I don't know. You gotta stop giving it to Lamar, as Sean said. Let's go. You want to go into some other games?
Are you on my Steeler game?
Yep.
So, the one victory Monday in this thing, the only victory Monday, a huge upset. Steelers make the short 2 to 3 hour trip up north to Buffalo. And the Bills, the curse of the Myron coat, terrible towel continues as Bills fans were stomping on a terrible towel, only for them to lose to the Steelers. So the curse lives on. And for any opposing fan, if you wreck our terrible towel, you're cursing your team. I hope you know that. If you don't believe me, do some research. The history exists. I've seen it many times. 2008 is my favorite example. Titans blew us out, stepped on the towel. What did we do? 6-time Super Bowl champions. That's all I need to say there. Biggest performances. Now, I will say this, actually. The Bills did play. It was a very fun defensive game. Now, I didn't see it, but I heard it. I heard everything. I think I watched majority of it when I got home. Biggest things I was impressed with, Melvin Ingram. You know, who needs Bud Dupree? This man, he went off yesterday. It was a very defensive game. It was 10-0 Bills at the end of the half. It was very similar, honestly, to last year's game. Now I think about it, it's 2 straight years against New York teams. I wonder if that trend will continue next year with the Jets. Opening day. That'd be kind of cool.
Do we face you next year?
Yeah. Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh. Maybe we'll go. I'll bring it in. You guys are coming to see my team for a change. That's how we're going to do this. All jokes aside. Very defensive game. And the Steelers did the same thing they did last opening day. Struggled in the first half. They came out in the second half. Momentum, they struggled at the start of the second half. They were driving down the field. They just couldn't finish it. They were struggling to put it in the end zone. Finally, I believe it was a touchdown pass to Deontay Johnson. Beautiful catch.
Corner of the end zone. Beautiful toe tap. Last year's Johnson would have dropped it, so I'm very proud of him. We had Claypool Moss, a guy. We had a block punt. So one thing I was really surprised with, I don't know how much you guys saw, Josh Allen really looked – he did not look that great. He was overthrown. It was a lot of self-destruction with Buffalo because Allen was overthrowing his receivers. You're struggling in the pocket. You obviously saw that 4th down play I sent to the chat where he threw it backwards. Yeah,
on 4th and 1.
That's so unscripted. It wasn't even funny.
Buffalo just looked. They were not prepared, and they had months to prepare for this game. Pittsburgh, their defense, phenomenal. TJ Watt, he got himself a sack to the new $112 million man. Roethlisberger, he had himself a solid game. He went 18 for 32, 188 yards, 1 touchdown. Nothing special. That's the one thing I like. And Chisel Adonis' post-game speech. Nothing special, but enough to get the job done. Najee Harris, 16 carries, 45 yards. He did nothing in the first half. I will say that. I think he had 7. I think the whole team
7
combined
carries for 8 yards, I believe.
Yeah, there was not much in terms of the first half and run game, which obviously needs to be worked on a little bit. But second half, much better. Very happy. He had a couple of receptions too. Let me see. I don't remember how many receiving yards he had. Okay, it was only that one cat. He was near touchdown, but defense made a nice stop. Receivers, nothing special. Claypool, by the way, on I think it was an end around or a jet sweep, had a 25-yard run. Claypool showing his, he can do it. He can do it. Roethlisberger actually had 4 carries for 5 yards. Roethlisberger he was running. He had a couple of runs. In terms of receiving, Juju Smith-Schuster was their leading receiver, 4 receptions, 52 yards. Claypool, 3 for 45. Deontay, 5 for 36 and a touchdown. Freiermuth had a really nice play. Him and Ebron, both just, they each had 1 catch. Both were big gains, both momentum shifters. Didn't see a lot from Washington. 2 receptions, 10 yards. So it was all around, it was a solid win. Now, obviously, again, there's things to work on. The offense, slow start in this first half, and I hope they're scouting the Raiders right now because we play them 6 days from today. All in all, I think I was impressed. I'll admit it. I slept on this team. I didn't think they had any chance of winning. I thought they could keep it competitive, but they were 6.5 point underdogs coming into this one. So I'm impressed. Buffalo, as far as Buffalo goes, I wouldn't panic. I mean, I don't even remember who they play this week, but Buffalo.
Miami.
Okay, and that's home or away?
Away.
Oh, that's crazy too. Because start of the year, I have Miami winning that one. Can we really see the Bills go 0-2? I don't think so.
That's difficult to see. I think it might be just one of those away.
I think so. It could be. But as far as Buffalo goes, Allen has some work to do. And it's starting to prove to me that maybe they did give him that contract too early, because a game like that would have me a little bit worried when you just pay him. You had a game like that. Like I said, he overthrew receivers. A lot of holding calls from what I'm hearing. The refs were really bad. I would have to go back and watch. But a lot of mistakes for the Bills were the cause of that game. And I heard Bills fans did not take that loss too well. They were fighting in the parking lot. So Bills fans, and that's crazy because NFL.com, the Bills won that tournament with best fans. I don't know if you guys saw that on Twitter. Bills fans, you're not the best fans in the league. Putting yourselves through tables does not make you good fans. It doesn't make sense to me. So, all in all, a win's a win. There's work to do. But it's week 1. And a win like that, that's big. Because we have the toughest schedule of in the league. So a win like that is big. You look down the line, you got games against the Green Bay. What are they going to be? After we saw that game yesterday, who knows? Alex, can you share that we'll share the first picture and then share the second one that I sent on Twitter earlier, that meme I wanted you to share? Cuz the Browns took 2 L's this week. Okay. Brian Campbell, I know you guys lost, but is there any chance Owen could get a jersey? Let's do it. Owen who? 0-1. Let's go Steelers. And then share the next picture. They blocked him.
That's salt.
How do you fall into a trap?
How do you
Salt.
Bro, oh my God, the Browns took 2 L's this week. That's sad. And that's crazy because the Browns when my dad called me and I heard that the Browns were winning, I wanted to throw my phone in traffic. Are you serious?
Until they choked, and then
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield
throws the game-sealing interception.
Yep, I actually did see that game. I did see the end of it. I got home at the start of the 4th. So I saw your game, Alex. I saw it was a blowout, so I switched the other one because it was a much more competitive game. Sorry, not sorry.
What was I going to say? Yeah, I know a Browns fan said on one of the content creators' videos that he doesn't believe Baker Mayfield's the answer.
Wow, Browns fans are already giving up. They've got one win. They've got one win on opening day since they've returned. They're like I think they're 121-1 on opening day.
Anyway, I do want to take a quick moment to address something. Over 1,000 followers on Twitter. So
hey, let's get it.
So that's great. That's great for this channel. And we're at 255 subscribers right now, so we're only getting there. But I'd just like to take a minute and thank the subscribers.
Thank you all.
Followers.
Thank you all. Make sure you follow on Instagram too. We do post. I think Alex does the posting on Instagram.
Yeah.
Follow on Instagram too. Follow all 3 of us.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it short about the Steelers game. It seems like a very defensive battle because I see a total of it seems like 4 to 5 forced fumbles. Jesus Christmas.
Yeah.
So not very clean. Looks like they had a nice time running the ball, meaning Buffalo.
Literally the first play of the game on the kickoff was a 75-yard return. I was standing at the bus stop. Yeah. Yeah. I was standing at the bus stop and I hear him running down I want to throw my phone in traffic. I'm like, really? This is how we're going to start 2021? But they held their own. They only gave up a field goal.
Yeah. What the hell was I going to say? Now I just saw a great play by Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you're going, in my personal opinion, we'll get into picks maybe a little later on. But you gotta get the run game going. I understand.
That's on the offensive line.
Well, I mean, they've had 21 carries to 32 passes, so I didn't watch the game, so I'm not going to sit here.
I will say that it's definitely a lot better than last year in terms of that ratio, because last year it wouldn't have been anywhere near that.
Lamar's just missing open receivers. He had the
Lamar looks like garbage tonight. This honestly kind of reminds me of the game against Raiders Saints last year.
All right. Luke, any quick comments?
Well, I was going to say everything's working fine for you guys. I saw that Ben missed a few checkdowns to Najee Harris.
Yeah,
big deal.
He did have a couple of overthrows too that were big, but
anyway, I think everything's going well for the Steelers. Obviously, week 1, things can change. It's going to be crucial that offensive line works. But from what I heard, first half wasn't so great, but the second half they really meshed together.
That's the one thing I was happy about. And the Steelers have done it. We've seen it so many times. Hell, we saw it in the preseason for the first 2 weeks. They struggled in the first half, but Tomlin, kudos to him. He changed. He made the right play calls, and we saw it come. They did it was a very typical Steelers type victory. They struggled in the first half. They came back and won. Like I said, there's a lot to work on, but it's a start. Again, nobody saw us winning. All these experts have Buffalo winning. All 3 of us picked Buffalo winning. The only people I think that thought Pittsburgh was winning was Steeler fans themselves, because we're going to win every game. That's how Steeler fans roll. But in all seriousness, I hope a lot of people reconsider what they were what they said about Pittsburgh. I hope so. I hope the Steelers keep this trend going. I'm not going to make that prediction because I like to see it 1 week at a time, but I hope so. It's too early to say now, but I really hope so. Was that thunder I heard in the background?
Yes, I'd like to also mention that the ESPN broadcast mentioned that Lamar will be negotiating his own contract extension.
What are they like with no agents?
No agent, just him.
You know, one thing I forgot to mention too with TJ Watt, that it made me gain the utmost respect for him. And I think, Luca, you sent me a Jets fan's reaction to it. When TJ Watt made the deal, the agent was pushing for him to get more money, and TJ Watt did not. He's like, no, I'm fine with this. I want to be a Steeler for life.
Yeah.
That's loyalty. That is loyalty.
Not Jamal Adams.
Le'Veon Bell. Oh, I like this right here. They're showing the NFL fans return. We did this same thank you last week for college football. Oh, was it great having fans back at every game. Every game. Y'all brought the energy, and it was amazing. I can't speak for it. I didn't see every game. I didn't watch the highlights of every game.
Unfortunately, towards the end of the game, Broncos fans took over Giants.
Oh, I saw that. When I put it on for like the short 5 minutes I kept it on, it was all Denver fans. But no, kudos to NFL fans. They're back, and honestly, the three of us couldn't be happier. Hopefully, all three of us will get to see each of our teams in anyway, because it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sight. It really was. Even just listening to it on radio, it was good. It was great. Hey, Reggie Jackson, he's at the game. George Lopez, he's there too.
I like to also mention that Titans-Jets game is looking very interesting.
Yeah,
Titans-Jets.
I would want to go.
I personally think, yeah. I would imagine. I would hope Tennessee, if they can't bounce back after that, then with an offense like that loss is just wow. Yikes.
Definitely. All right.
Especially Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to him? What was I going to say? So, obviously we don't have a time limit on here.
I saw that.
I do want to.
Personally, I do. I got in-person classes tomorrow, so I got to be out of here by 12.
No, I would like to because I got to get up at like 6. But I do want to roll through a couple of these and then maybe do early predictions for next year. I'm not saying we will,
Well, what we could always do, now I know the spreads are likely not up, but I could still give you percentages for
the win percentage.
Wins. Let me see what's up. Give me one sec.
I
So
think I'm going to write down the opening spreads except for Baltimore's and Las Vegas's opponents because this game obviously hasn't ended yet.
Well, if they might not even be out yet. Okay, there's.
With that being said,
they're all out.
I know that the Jets are 5.5-point underdogs.
Yeah, they're all out.
3-point. With that being said, let's move into a couple more of these games over the past week. How about that Cowboy-Buck game?
Oh, I didn't see it, but it certainly looked like it. I heard the referees were terrible, first of all. But I heard that was a very entertaining game. And now Cowboys fans have false hope, and that's going to drive each and every one of us insane.
Well, the Cowboys might be good in terms of the NFC East. I think the Eagles are going to fall next week, and then the week after, who do the Eagles play? They play Dallas, so I think the Eagles will fall.
How about Alex? What do you have to say?
Oh, they threw a flag on that. What do y'all think about this call real quick?
I see it.
I see why they did that.
Oh, the Ravens, cry all you want. Cry all you want.
His hands got there early. But I was going to say, what did you guys think? 10 carries for Zeke?
Yeah.
They were I think they were afraid because Tampa Bay ideally had one of the best rushing defenses in football.
Still, you got to.
And their back end so overrated, I guess.
I'll say this: we may hate the Cowboys in every aspect whatsoever, but congrats to Dak. I'm happy to see him back.
Well out there.
He played well, so I'm happy for him because as much as we can talk about how we hate and despise Dallas. He put on a hell of a performance. I'm not going to lie. Watching that game, I'm like, wow. Dallas really – they surprised me. They did surprise me. I knew in the back of my head. I kept saying though. At the end of that game, when when Dallas went ahead, I'm like, you left too much time on the clock. You left too much time on the clock. That's what ultimately killed them. But I will say, biggest reason I think Dallas lost, not so much the defense, the kicking game.
Yeah, Zerline did not have a good game.
That is the ultimate reason. One of them, I should say the reason, but it's definitely the biggest reason Dallas lost.
That Dallas offense is awesome, but that defense is a little concerning.
Well, we've known that from.
They're going to have to be able to control that Los Angeles offense next week.
How about Antonio Brown burning Anthony Brown?
Yeah, and Antonio Brown.
5 yards and like 5 receptions for Antonio Brown.
Yeah, AB.
It's like he's reminding Steelers fans of his former self.
Yeah, and it has to be with Brady.
Yeah, Sean's having some moments right here. He's having some moments.
I don't miss him. I'm more frustrated that
No. You're probably you miss him, but you miss the talent.
Yeah, talent, yes.
See, just like me with OBJ, I don't miss his antics. I miss his talent though. But that game really did surprise me. We all thought it was just going to be some blowout, not competing. But hey, that was a hell of an opening game.
Dallas for competing all the way. I mean, they came back from like double digits, and then they eventually lost. So
yeah.
Next game I want to go into is how about Jacksonville, Houston?
Trevor Lawrence kind of struggled.
3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions
versus the Texans defense.
Against some
Tyrod Taylor looked good.
Defensive backs.
Tyrod Taylor, yeah.
Fucking we all expected.
So underappreciated, man. So underappreciated.
Only sacked
and apparently,
once.
I think there was some NFL source out there that tweeted, Urban Meyer might want to resign.
I've heard there's some serious anger problems in that locker room with him. I'll be honest, if there's a reason Jacksonville may have looked as it could be something as simple as Urban Meyer and his problems. Because I've heard he's had some serious anger problems. Now imagine if only they were on Hard Knocks.
I was just about to say that.
Only they were on Hard Knocks, and we would have been able to see for sure. But no, we had to give it to the Cowboys again.
Yeah. Real quick, I'm trying to look through their stats and see if there's anyone.
Chad Forbes put this on Twitter. Do you guys find Derek Carr unimpressive? Because I don't.
No,
I don't think he's been bad.
No, he's had a nice game.
Other than that reception, Darren Waller's been absolute garbage this game.
Yeah.
Chad Forbes literally said, play Marcus Mariota over. Chad Forbes says Mariota over Carr.
No.
Why?
No.
Anyway, they rushed 160 yards against that Jacksonville defense.
I can't say
Brandon Cooks cooked them. 5 receptions, 132 yards. Pharaoh Brown, who's a receiver, the freaking backup, 67 yards. Tyrod Taylor, once again, impressive. 2 touchdowns, no fumbles, no anything. No turnovers for Houston. It's a very clean game. 3 interceptions. Justin Reed, Vernon Hargreaves, and Christian Kirksey. I don't know.
I want to know how many times they sacked Trevor Lawrence.
Just once.
That's interesting. Maybe he was mobile in the pocket or some shit. But he did turn over the ball 3 times. So
fumble. Actually, Tyrod did fumble, but he recovered his own fumble, so it was all good.
Yeah.
That's got to be the biggest upset of the week.
I want to say this. How about them Packers? Aaron Rodgers, you ruined my fantasy week.
I'm sorry.
That was embarrassing. That, in my opinion, was the biggest surprise of the week.
I agree.
They didn't even show up. They didn't score a touchdown. Y'all let Jameis Winston throw 5 touchdowns.
And it's not even the fact that Jameis Winston. It's just how many freaking points.
Famous Jameis.
And what's crazy is you take away those 5 touchdowns. His numbers were not that great, to be honest. He only threw for 148 yards. That's only, I think, 15 more.
Their ground game, it looks like, kind of carried them. Alvin Kamara and Tony Jones Jr.
Yeah, he only because Rodgers. Compare that to Rodgers. I think it was only 15 yards more.
Yeah, you're actually correct with that.
I looked it up yesterday. That's why.
Yeah. 2 interceptions, 43 yards on the ground.
Yeah. Green Bay, man. Oh,
that's Paulson the pick out of Stanford.
Let me ask you guys this. Worst start to the year. in terms of losses?
Green Bay
or Atlanta?
Green Bay.
Green Bay, they had expectations. That's
Yeah,
why.
Green Bay is supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. So why are they going for it?
It's John Gruden.
And of course, Jacobs can't do nothing for me. That's beautiful.
He's also
That was
kind of
stupid.
hobbling.
I know. This has been a horrible week for me in fantasy. Thank you,
Horrible
Aaron
week
Rodgers.
for me in general. Friggin'
Aaron
fantasy.
Rodgers could at least put up 15 points. I'd be in a much better position, but no.
So I want to get
Let's
to some of the,
purposely lose so we can get traded faster.
real quickly. I do want to get to some comments. William says, "Remember the Dallas days of the '90s when they had Aikman, Urban, Emmett Smith, Deion Sanders. They were stacked, and I love Barry Sanders. It was a shame he never won a Super Bowl." He also says Carr would be so much better on a different team. The Raiders overall are not a good team. Then, in my opinion, in my opinion, could be way better. Rodgers isn't just the QB he was years ago. I don't know that I necessarily believe that, to be honest. I feel like he's got some power. It's just that was a really bad loss. And their defense is leaky. But I would take Derek Carr if Daniel Jones doesn't work out, by the way.
But you take him, but you wouldn't take Aaron Rodgers, Alex?
I never said I wouldn't take Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, $38 million on the Giants' salary here, along with paying with Leonard Williams, James Bradbury, and Adoree Jackson. That's going to work out real well.
And Kenny Galladay.
Yeah. So which game should we go to next?
I like the Chargers game.
That was a very close game. I was actually a little surprised with that.
Well, I expected it to be close.
I was just more surprised at the fact that Washington was able to hang in there after.
Looking statistically, Herbert torched them 337 yards on 47
I just
passing
want to say
attempts.
something. Reverting back to the Dallas game, I'm going to share this with you guys, and our viewers can decide. No PI or OPI?
I'm going to say OPI.
Oh, I say OPI. Easily.
Yeah.
Alex, you mind not doing that? Thank you. See, we're going to see.
Yeah, he pushes off right there.
Yeah.
I got to disagree with you guys there. That's a tough call.
What?
He pushes off.
I agree with you, but is his arm fully extending? I don't think it was.
Let's take a look again. Here we go. Because I get to control it. All right, I get to go slow.
His arm is going like this. It's not as much as you think.
Luca, if a former NFL referee said that that's pass interference,
But that's a tough call.
since when are you playing devil's advocate?
He seems very upset that Dallas lost because of this call.
Yeah, wasn't he defending Dallas a couple of days ago?
Yeah, that's true. You're starting to pick up
Alex,
on that.
I said this was a tough call. I didn't say. I said it was not OPI. I don't think it's OPI. He's not fully extending his arm. He's not pushing off like this.
Okay, so now you're playing devil's advocate for the Bucks.
I've been playing devil's advocate. Where have you been?
Oh, look, Lamar finally gets some going. How? Run game.
Yeah, of course.
Typical.
Gee,
Who's their starting running back tonight? Does anybody know?
Supposed to be
Tyshawn Williams, and there's also former Jet Trenton Cannon.
no Le'Veon Bell whatsoever. So imagine they activate him against the Steelers the first time they play him.
I hope so. I want him to get booed out that stadium. I want to be there for that. 'Cause that's on my birthday.
True. In terms of this game, their passing game didn't seem like much of anything. So hopefully the Giants can contain that on Thursday. 133 passing yards overall. 1 touchdown for Taylor Heineke. Game managing stats, but they had a pretty decent ground game. 27 rushes, 126 yards. Antonio Gibson taking a huge chunk of that, giving me some fantasy points. McLaurin, he looks like he had a nice day statistically. 4 receptions, 62 yards. Keenan Allen, 9 receptions, 100 yards. Mike Williams, 8 receptions, 82 yards. The game, it looks like it was a little sloppy, but defensive sloppy. Kind of like the Bills game.
Herbert had a good game. And the offense, the Chargers offense, 14 of 19 on third down.
I'm sorry, what?
14 of 19 on third down, the Chargers offense.
Yeah, that's
gonna
be I'll tell you what, that's going to be interesting because the Giants were terrible on third down.
Apparently, Rashawn Slater had an excellent game.
Yeah, Giants fans are already. I've heard that already.
Yeah,
Giants
I'm
fans
literally
are-
reading it right now.
Yeah. Real quickly, I do want to answer this question, but think about the next game we want to go to. William says, "Love the content, guys. What made you decide to start this channel?" So
We literally, it was so simple. We went on for a random live stream for no reason, like because when Alex was recording his video, what was wrong? I
he means
forget.
the channel overall.
Oh, well,
But you can include your part when I get to it. So the three, and this is just even going back years and years. The three of us have been trying to get something going for years. I mean, I remember there was the one famous one where Luca tries to make a case for the Yankees going to the playoffs in 2016, and we're basically like, look at the teams we have to get through. They didn't make the playoffs, so we were right, but we were right about our own team, which honestly, it's not great.
sucks.
It sucks, yeah. So and then we tried doing it at like a year and a half later. It didn't work. Because Sean was working and there was a lot of confusion. And I just moved into Brooklyn, so it wasn't great. Then during the pandemic, I was in contact with somebody who's currently goes to the same college I do, basically saying, who wants to be in that industry. And basically he said, this is now your time to start a podcast. So I started it as just the Giants podcast. And then around June, July, I turned it into Big Blue in the Bronx. Then I started making updates and stuff like that. Got more involved with some content creators. That's where the subscriber count went up. And then around February, March, we were Sean, you want to explain?
We decided to start this now. Ever since the channel was actually created, we've done plenty of live streams before this one became a thing. We did
Giants
draft.
Yankees Nationals,
NFL predictions, which I think is still the most viewed video we have.
Yeah.
Steelers Giants was still my favorite one. For obvious reasons. Yeah, so we had done plenty of live streams prior. There was an issue. Alex, what was it you were trying to record?
We were trying to record a video based on the new MLB rules for spring training, and the audio didn't sync to OBS from Zoom. I'm like, God damn it! So I said, we gotta go. I said, why don't we just do a live stream?
Yeah, and it just clicked. Like it's one of our. It was like everything just clicked perfectly, and we had a nice turnout with viewers, so we just kind of went from there.
Yeah, and our first episode was Cop Hizzle and the Entertainer. That was fun.
Yeah.
And then we had multiple guests along the way. We had Nick Savage, we had Justin Pennick, we had
Pinstripe Prospects,
Patrick Hennessy, a lot of the other guys,
Pete Simonetti,
Unhinged Yanks. Yeah.
Yep. William says, Sean, do you have a cool Steelers jersey?
I only have two. Only because I've told the story before. I always try to wait until I know they're going to be with the team for a long time. That's where Luca's faulted with his jerseys.
Ask me about the jerseys I've owned.
I'll let him get to that in just a sec. The two jerseys, I own one Big Ben jersey, which is really worn out because I wear it a lot. But my favorite one is still my Troy Polamalu jersey. So I only got two. They're both basic home jerseys. But as far as cool Steelers jerseys, I wouldn't. Any jersey's cool in my opinion. But unless it's an Antonio Brown jersey, then I question a lot of things about you. But I'm only kidding. Yeah. So as far as Steelers jerseys, those are the only two I have. Yeah, Luca, you want to go into your little story about your Jets jersey history? I'm gonna step away for a sec. I'll be right back.
All right, so my first Jets jersey was Mark Sanchez in a away jersey. Second one was a home Brandon Marshall jersey. Third was a Jamal Adams jersey, and fourth was a Sam Darnold jersey. Now my fifth is a Nick Mangold jersey.
Yeah, Lucas had a great history.
What is your supposed theory on how I became a Jets fan?
You saw that there was a Jets jersey in your closet.
Sure.
You want to go? What game should we do next? We do have only a few more.
Let me see here. Seattle, Indy. Okay. Carson Wentz's debut.
Okay. Then this one I gotta go get a charger because my laptop's actually dying slowly. Seattle Indy. Okay, so Carson Wentz, he did fumble once, but his team win. Russell Wilson 4 passing touchdowns, and it seemed it seemed like they were mostly chunk plays because he only had 254 yards, 18 for 23. So Tyler Lockett 2 touchdowns, DK Metcalf with 1, Gerald Everett with 1. I didn't watch really any of this game, but Carson Wentz did have 2 passing touchdowns, both of them going to Zach Pascal. In terms of the running game, both running games seem to be there. Jonathan Taylor, in terms of yards, Seattle did better than Indianapolis, but I don't have much to take away from this game. But Seattle got the first. I think it's going to take a little bit for the Colts to actually warm up.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So what do you...
My takeaways were Seattle's rushing attack did bully the Colts defensive line. Seattle's rushing attack did average 5.18 yards per carry. The main rushers were Chris Carson, Russell Wilson, and Dwayne Eskridge. The passing offense stayed high-flying for Seahawks as Tyler Lockett had a field day, and DJ Metcalf and Will Dissly looked good as well. The defensive line registered 3 sacks on Carson Wentz and 10 QB hits. Carson Wentz did look solid in his debut as a Colt, 25-38, 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, and showed some poise and mobility in and out of the pocket. The key thing to this game for the Colts was missed opportunities. They had 2 failed 4th down conversions in Seattle territory, so they just could not move the ball.
John, anything on this game?
On the Colts game.
Yeah.
First off, to answer your question, William, I put it in the chat, but I'll just say I'm in Staten Island right now.
Yeah, well, and then me and Luke are in Brooklyn because obviously we live in the same house.
Yeah, but we're not as far as you would think because actually I live in like the northern part of Staten Island by like St. George and the ferry. They're in lower Brooklyn, like the low,
yeah.
So we're not far from each other. We're not far. So
real quickly before Sean gives his thoughts, and you guys can go to the next game, and I'll just catch up. I got
a question for the 3 of you. When you come back, it's a little off topic, but that Steelers question brought up something interesting I want to talk about. As far as the Seahawks game goes, I can't say I'm too surprised that Seattle won. I had Indianapolis pulling off an upset, but.
So did I, but that was not my upset of the week, obviously.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. But Wentz still looked like he had a bad game. I mean, considering he's just coming off of an injury.
He had a solid game.
Looked like he had a good game. Russell Wilson, same thing. Solid game, 4 touchdown passes. That's impressive.
Right.
Carson had a nice game. So I wouldn't look at, it's disappointing that they lost. The Colts did, but it's not something I would hang my head completely low on because they play a good game. So now I just have to bounce back and
Carson Wentz finally has resources around him.
Yeah, that's the one thing I like is at least now he's got like good pieces around him, which that's the other thing. With Matt Stafford, I was happy for him last night because
I really was too.
It was nice seeing.
Sorry to interrupt, Sean, except I wasn't because he destroyed my fantasy team.
Yeah. Oh, okay, William. That's cool. I grew up. Actually, I'm from Pennsylvania, but I just moved here about 2 months as of Friday. I'm pursuing a dream. One of my dreams is actually to live here in New York, and I have a lot of family here on Staten Island. So, and I'm going to college at the College of Staten Island. So I'm staying with family for now. But it was always a dream of mine to live in New York, as it was really the GPs are originally from New York, but it was a dream for all of us to eventually be living here. So now we're all living that dream. But no, it's back to the Seattle game. The Rams game. No, I was really just happy because it feels like, Matt Stafford, he's always been surrounded by such bad teams that it was nice to see him playing good, and especially because Matt Nagy really kind of ruined the game.
Look at the careers that Detroit's ruined. Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders.
Yeah, exactly.
No winning out of those.
Now, I want to ask a question for everybody. Let's go for the chat, too. Yes, William. It upsets me when I hear a lot of people say that they want to leave New York because it's such a great place to live in. Yeah, it has its problems. Well, that's another topic, but isn't
What the hell are you doing?
well,
I just won my fantasy matchup.
nice. But no, it's New York. Even when I lived in PA, I might not be originally from here, but I've always loved it here. So
Transplant.
my question for everybody, William asked my favorite Steelers uniform. I want to go around. What is your favorite sports piece you own? It could be anything. What is your favorite sports item you own? I'll start. Mine's actually a NASCAR one from my first ever race when Jeff Gordon, my favorite driver, won. I have the lug nuts off of his race car from that race. I don't have them here in New York. I actually left them with my parents back in Pennsylvania, so I can't show them to you, but I own lug nuts from that race car that he took to victory lane. So for me, that is my favorite sports item that I own.
For me, it would either have to be that infamous baseball with all the signatures on it.
Yeah.
Or my mom gave it to me. It's kind of hers, but she gave it to us. Greg Nettles signed baseball.
Yeah, that's cool. Luca, how about you?
Could it be like anything I've
It could literally be your favorite hat. It could be the one I bought you because I bought it, so it has to be good, right?
I'd say my Jeter jersey.
So your Jeter jersey, I like that. Chat, what about you guys? What is your favorite owned sports item? Anything. Literally could be anything. Yes, William, New York is the best. No doubt about it.
Any ideas on the next game?
Hang on, I want to pick one. I didn't get to pick one yet. Oh wait, yeah, I did. I picked the Packer game.
Did we go over that?
Yeah, we did. No, I said.
How about the overtime game?
Yeah, that was a good. After that, I want to get to the Chiefs game. And actually, the only one that looks like we didn't get to was Miami game, and we really kind of already mentioned LA in like spurts throughout the stream.
Yeah,
we didn't get San Francisco either, but that game was. That game was a blowout. Yeah.
Authentic Jeter jersey, he says.
Good.
So,
like that. The Hall of Famer now.
Yes, Hall of Famer. The next game, the overtime game. Didn't watch the highlights in this one. Probably just going to see, what's up. Apparently, this was basically all offense from what I heard. Jamar Chase, other than the preseason, he had a good game. 5 receptions, 101 yards, and a touchdown. So, obviously, that's the LFU offense. Joe Mixon had a good game on the ground. 127 rushing yards. In terms of their running game, they couldn't get it going, surprisingly. Nope. Dalvin Cook, 3.1 yards per carry. Kirk Cousins, 2 touchdowns. I'm used to saying interceptions, but Dalvin Cook.
William, are you a Brooklyn Nets fan? Reading the chat?
Yeah, well, he's got Nets.
Because I know a lot of people own a jersey, but because I have a guy at work that yesterday came in with a Patriots jersey, and then today came in with a Baker Mayfield jersey. So
that's interesting. What was I going to say? So it seems like it was pretty offensive, but other than Dalvin Cook fumble, there's really nothing else to remark on terms of the offense. But obviously, battle to the overtime, and the Bengals won. The Vikings, as I mentioned, they play the Cardinals next week. The Bengals play a team by the name of. Why can't I find it? They play the Bears. Oh, God.
Ew.
They might just win that game, honestly.
Yeah, I guess it depends. Is it in Cincinnati or is it in Chicago?
No, it's in Chicago.
That's a shame.
I'm going to give the Bears that one.
Yeah.
You guys
all right, William. We're all Knicks fans, but we'll welcome you. We have most of our viewers, I think, are actually Brooklyn Nets fans. So
we respect you.
Yeah, as long as you're not toxic, we'll respect you. And we already do. Okay, yeah, so he's a real one. I can already see it from the chat. Jason Kidd was his favorite. So he's a real Nets fan.
Yeah. I mean, Jason Kidd did play
about
for the Knicks.
Anything to take away from the Vikings game?
Yeah, Minnesota. That's my takeaway. Jerk offs.
Minnesota's kind of a joke at
To think about it, it's the opposite of the NFC East. Is the Ravens pulled this one out? Friggin' the only losing team of the Browns is the friggin' bottom of the division. So, Sean, you got some hefty competition there.
Yeah. How about them Browns? We just saw they took 2 L's today. So you saw what I had Alex share earlier. I still can't get over that. How do you fall for that? How do you actually fall for that? That's
Luca, you want to
and they get blocked.
That game?
Yeah, we might as well. Cleveland, they started out hot, but he finished that hot, and I'm happy about it.
I really thought, in my mind, the Browns were like, what? I don't know, up 28-13 or some shit.
It was 22 to. It was either 22-3 or 22-10 at one point.
22-10, that's the score. I was like, you know what? I don't have full confidence in the Browns, honestly. I think the Chiefs are going to win this game.
Mm-hmm. And I said to my dad when he called me and told me the score, I said, let's just hope Kansas City, because they're pretty good at making comebacks, let's hope they do it again. So, thankfully they did. Because,
seems like
God, if the Browns won.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Tyreek Hill, freaking big day for him. 11 receptions, 197 yards and a touchdown. It seems like the passing game was the biggest for the Chiefs, but the running game was the biggest for the Browns. But Baker Mayfield didn't even have a touchdown. He had 1 interception. Obviously, that was the game ender to Ben Neiman. Nick Chubb had a fumble, but I see the Browns as competitive, but they got to hold that lead in order to be some sort of relevant team. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he was limited, it seems. But
yeah,
my thoughts on that game, guys.
All right, Luca.
I pretty much gave my thoughts. I knew the Chiefs were going to win. When they were down, they're obviously going to come back. So I know Baker Mayfield threw the game-sealing interception. So,
just a note, I'm joking with my friend about this. He's a Ravens fan. There was a Steelers fan spotted in the crowd at this Raiders-Ravens game with a Juju jersey. And he was going full representation. That's odd for him because not even I'm having this little issue. Obviously, you'd rather root for the Raiders because, division's sake, but we play them next week. I don't want them coming in thinking, oh, wow, we just beat Baltimore, one of the best teams in the league. We can do it again,
Appreciate it, William.
Appreciate that. Much respect. Oh, I didn't even notice your profile picture. And I asked you for your
idiot.
Yikes.
Idiot. That's why I called you an idiot.
I didn't, my fault, William. My fault.
What was I going to say? Luca, your thoughts on that game?
And touchdown Raiders. They're a point away from tying. That was fantasy points. Let's get it.
If that helps you at all.
I'm going to look right now.
Probably doesn't.
Maybe a little.
Who would you give your thoughts on?
Game, Alex?
Oh, yeah. Dolphins, Patriots.
Let's see. Yeah. I just say I want to hear what Luca's got to say because this affects his team.
Overall, I'm
down by 10. Damn.
Overall, I heard. Let me just get this one sec. Overall, I heard good things about Mac Jones. It was just the rest of the team that cost him. The turnovers, the fumbles.
Jesus Christmas, that freaking thunder.
I can't hear it.
Mac Jones apparently played a solid game, but it's just New England around him didn't do so
well. Let me count. Damian Harris fumble, Ramondre Stevenson fumble, Jonnu Smith fumble, Mac Jones fumble. 2 of them were lost, so obviously they didn't help their own cause. 202 yards. They're running very defensive for Miami. In terms of the running game, for whatever it could do for New England, it was 125 on the ground, but Damian Harris had the most carries, 23 carries for 100 yards. Mac Jones, 281 passing yards, but once again, very defensive, even though the stats are somewhat high. Jonathan Jones had the only interception that was off of Tua. And the 1 touchdown pass for Mac Jones went to Aguilar. The 1 touchdown pass went to Jalen Waddle from Tua. So obviously that Alabama connection. Sean?
I was honestly surprised New England lost. It's a shame for Mac Jones because he didn't have a bad game. It just kind of like the Jet game where it was just the pieces were there and it felt like everything other than the quarterback really seemed to be the problem. So that's why I'm intrigued about this next game because now that we saw Mac Jones, he's a good for now anyway. Well, what we've seen, he looks like he could be a good QB, but what about the rest of the team around him? So that makes Sunday's game much more intriguing. Like I said, I truly think I don't know if New England will start 0-2, but I would not be surprised if the Jets walked away with their dub against them for the first time in 6 years?
Yeah, 6 years. And the Jets have a history of beating the Patriots week 2. I mean, they did it with Mark Sanchez back in 2009 and 2010. They lost to Patriots in 2013 in New England with Geno Smith because he threw 3 interceptions. And then they lost in 2008. Brett Favre lost to Matt Castle week 2.
Alex, you really shouldn't be laughing about Geno Smith because he kind of didn't lead your team to a win once before.
Well, he also fumbled like twice, but yeah, sad times. Let's go over to what game was supposed to be a blowout by the score. It seems close. Jimmy G looks like he had a game, but I'm pretty sure he did fumble.
Yeah.
14 passing yards. Jared Goff.
Trey Lance also threw a touchdown on his first career pass.
And his only pass. Jared Goff, he had that one pick 6 by Drain Greenlaw. Jared Goff, it looks like, I'm not going to make assumptions, but with the way the Lions scored this game, it looks like most of those touchdowns were in garbage time.
They were, because I think with like 6 minutes left, it was still 41-17. So
yeah, he had 338 total yards. The running game for them looked, well, I'm not going to make assumptions, but 24 for 116 isn't bad. Slightly better for the San Francisco rushing game as touchdowns by Jermichael Hasty and rookie Elijah Mitchell. And one touchdown for Jamal Williams as well. Fumble for George Kittle, fumble for Deebo Samuel, fumble for Jimmy Garoppolo. So it looks like, they gave every chance to Detroit to win. So
they just felt bad for him. That's all.
They
wanted to make him feel special.
Yeah.
Because in all reality, if there's a team that's bound to go 0-17, Detroit's making a very good case.
Yeah.
Did we go over the Eagles game?
Kind of, but not really.
Yeah, that and the Rams game is the final two. Fortunately, I have to go over this game. Where the hell is it? Why can't I find it? It's somewhere. My eyes are not looking for it or something. Here we are. Okay, so Matt Ryan sacked 3 times, hit a total of 9 times. So not very good protection up front. The running game was basically carried by Mike Davis and Cordero Patterson. Jalen Hurts had a game. You're facing a defense that's probably one of the worst in the league. Jalen Reagor and Devontae Smith with touchdowns. Let's see what else. Jalen Hurts fumbled once, recovered twice, and also Matt Ryan fumbled once. That being said, this game, in my opinion, would have been closer, but the Falcons.
I had Atlanta winning.
I think at this point, can possibly consider Falcons to be near the bottom with the Lions?
Yeah, that's what I doubt. Matt Ryan is the only bright spot for that team.
Calvin Ridley.
Okay, one of a few. But if I were Matt Ryan, I'd ask for a trade because you saw how many times he got sacked yesterday.
Yeah, he got sacked 3 times, hit 9 times.
And poor man's running for his life. So he's pretty much turned into the new Matt Stafford. In that aspect.
I was stunned. I really didn't think this. Listen, if I thought the Eagles were going to win, it'd be a close game. But 32-6, Jesus. They made Jalen Hurts out to be freaking Randall Cunningham or Warren Moon.
Yeah. So final game that we're going to go over, even though this one's close, the one on TV, of course.
Matt Stafford had a pretty good game. I mean, who wouldn't against this Bears team? 3 touchdowns, 321 yards. Andy Dalton threw an interception, 206 yards on 27 passing attempts. That's 5 per pass. That's
according to now, I only saw we were watching upstairs something else, like a movie. So big play for Watkins down to the 9. So I always saw the final minutes of I saw all the fourth quarter of that game. And from what I heard from the announcers, they were saying that one interception was the only really bad mistake for Andy Dalton. They said he had a pretty solid game.
Well, it looks like the defense couldn't catch him. I mean, total of 321
you think this
yards.
Is the time where the Bears defense is going to start to decapitate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kyle Fuller's
Cooper
gone.
Kupp, Van Jefferson, and Robert Woods with touchdowns. Let's see, both touchdowns in the running game. Justin Fields and then David Montgomery. Obviously, the passing game was what did it for the Rams. What did it for the Bears at all, if anything, was the rushing game, and they actually passed it more times. So, still disappointing there. Obviously, the one interception and then the one fumble by Andy Dalton recovered by Kenny Young, and then once again the interception in the end zone by David Long. I mean, we talk about Daniel Jones with this, and it could be made the same point for Andy Dalton. When your offense is not doing anything, you cannot throw in a red zone interception. So,
yeah. Excuse me.
Final comments.
Jets. Off-topic comment. Jets beat reporter started. Jets beat reporter DJ BNIM started Aaron Rodgers, Julio Jones, Najee Harris, and Brandon Ayuk in his fantasy team.
Yikes.
Yeah,
he probably got a total of 5 points.
Literally, I'm losing by 11. If Aaron Rodgers could have at least played okay.
Luke, any comments?
No comments.
All right, so real quickly to recap this week. Sean, if you will, pull up the spreads, please.
For next week?
Yes.
Okay.
I do want to go over some stats real quick. Probably in the new look, new scenery quarterbacks, Teddy Bridgewater did really well. I mean, I watched the game, so I would know, unfortunately. Tyrod Taylor, man, he's in a shitty situation. He absolutely dominated. Good win for the Texans, I guess, when you got nothing else to live for. Matt Stafford, another one, did well. So probably those 3 quarterbacks did it for me in terms of the new look, new scenery quarterbacks. New head coaching looks. Nick Sirianni beats Arthur Smith. Robert Saleh loses the Panthers. David Culley wins against Urban Meyer. He might resign, apparently. 49ers beat Dan Campbell, and Brandon Staley beats the Washington football team. I guess, I mean, I'm not going to say I didn't watch the game, but I guess the way Dan Campbell puts his team in, I guess the second half they were better and forcing turnovers, and they were still in the game. So I guess I would respect him for that if that's what happened. I'm not saying it did. But in terms of rookie QB stats, no one really had great games, outstanding games. Only 1 pass for Trey Lance, only a rushing touchdown for Justin Fields, 3 interceptions for Trevor Lawrence. Mac Jones probably had the best.
Yeah, he was probably the best rookie out there.
Yeah, he was the best rookie out there, and I guess the safest, if you will. So Sean's going to pull up the spreads.
I have them ready. There's 2 games that do not have spreads, and that would, of course, be because of tonight's game. But I do know the early spread for the Steeler-Raider game, just because they had it up when I first put it up, and then now it's gone. So I'm just going to have to rely off of memory.
Yeah. What was I going to say? So, he has the spreads. We'll do early predictions for this week.
All right. Start with the Thursday nighter.
Start with
Alex's big game as Baltimore just took the lead back. Washington against the New York Giants. Now, this obviously could change because of the QB problems, but Washington is 3-point favorites, and they have a 55.1% chance to beat the New York Giants, 3.5-point favorites. And they have rounded up to about a 55% chance of beating New York on Thursday. That game will be on NFL Network, by the way. Luca, I'm not gonna have you go into announcers and stuff just because I want to get in as much as we can.
Well,
Yeah, plus they're not even out yet, Sean. So.
Oh, okay. All right, that works out fine then.
And the referees are not even out. I'll leave my take for last. What about you guys?
Well, I think it's gonna be a defensive battle. And I think it's going to come down to which defense comes up more in the clutch. I think it's a trap game for New York, so I'm still saying Washington. Barely.
I still think Washington's going to win. It's going to honestly be about if the Giants can get to Taylor Heineke, if they keep him in the pocket, if they tackle, if they don't shoot themselves in the foot, the Giants will win this game. But I think the Redskins
Yikes. Yikes. Cancel Luca. Cancel him. Cancel. Alex?
I have to pick my team to lose, unfortunately. But
I can just hear the sadness in his voice. Jeez, it's like we were at a funeral.
It's gonna be closer than it was last Sunday, but with both defenses failing on 3rd down and 4th down, I think it's just going to be a closer game. And I think it's going to be, people are going to say it's going to be 13 to this or 17. I think it's going to be like 20, 24, maybe 27.
Oh, yeah, we didn't make score predictions.
Yeah. Well, that's all right.
I'll say Washington 16 to 10.
Really? That low?
Yeah. I think it's all about the defense.
Okay.
Luca?
I'm going to say 24-14 Washington.
Oh, 10 points. I'm going to say 24-17 Washington.
Okay. Next game, we move to Sunday's 1 o'clock slate. It's not here anymore, but it was about 20 minutes ago. The Steelers will host the rival Raiders. The Steelers, last I checked, were 6-point favorites and have a 69.5% chance to win. That is a very nice win percentage. Game will be on CBS. It is the Steelers' home opener. I think it might be a closer game than people anticipate. It's a rivalry game. These teams always fight it out. It doesn't matter how bad a team is, how good a team is, as we saw the last time these teams met. But we ain't going to talk about that because that never happened. I give the Steelers a 27-24 victory over the Las Vegas Raiders. And the win will be because of a Boswell kick to win it in the final seconds.
Luca?
I'm going to take the Steelers. I say 24-17.
24-17. Okay. Luca? Alex?
I'm Luca, apparently.
Well, you're the same person, so.
I'm going to take the Steelers 27. Say, they look kind of good in this game. They look like they're competing, but I'll go 27-26.
Okay, well, that's a close one. Alex really wants me to crap myself if that's the case. All right. Next game, we actually already brought it up earlier. The Bungles will head to Chicago to face the Bears on Fox. The Bears are 3-point favorites, and the Bears have a 57% chance to win. I take Chicago 23-13. Okay. I hope you're right, William. I hope you're right.
Luca?
In regards to the Bears, I'm going to take them winning. I think it's going to be a little more offensive game than anticipated. So I'm going to go 17-27.
Y'all going to hate me.
Not even that. 17-23.
I was going to pick the Bengals, isn't he?
Yeah, I am picking the Bengals.
You're going to have Cincinnati start 2-0.
Yes.
Do you hear yourself?
Did you see the way the Bears played?
Did you see?
The Bengals defense ain't even that good, Alex. Come on.
Yeah, you go.
And what's the offense for? What's the
The
offense?
win is going to be because of the Chicago defense, not the offense.
I don't. Okay, well, no, I'm picking Cincinnati here with my true heart, not to piss Sean off, but I'm actually picking them. Like I actually think they're gonna win, 20-10.
This kid thinks the Bengals are going to start 2-0.
The NFL's funny. You guys don't get that.
No
You're
shit.
funny. You're funny looking.
Uh,
Next game, talk about clown shows. On CBS, the Houston Texans will head to Cleveland to face the Cleveland Browns on CBS. The Browns are 12 and a half point favorites and have an 81.3% chance to win. Now, obviously, the Texans are going to win because why not? It's
that actually
the Texans.
Yeah.
If it does happen, it'll be the most Browns thing to happen.
Texans
Cleveland
2-0. I can't imagine that.
No, yeah, Matt. Well, Alex says the Bengals might go 2-0, so you never know.
they are.
I have Cleveland winning this one 35. Oh, that's a big play. 35-6.
Jesus. Oh my God.
It ain't gonna be close.
Luca.
Let's not pretend it will be.
You said 35-6.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. What do you think here? It's 24-3.
Alex?
30-17.
So Alex is the only one that thinks they're gonna score a touchdown this week.
Great job, Alex.
Well, hold on. It's 30. Yeah, 30. Okay, 30's plausible.
The next game, another good one in Indianapolis. The LA Rams will head to Indy on Fox to face the Colts. The Rams are currently 4-point favorites and have a 52.8% chance to win against the Colts. That's a good one, actually. That is a sleeper game of the week. I'm going to say the Rams 24-23.
I don't think it's going to be that close, but okay.
I say 24-20.
24-17 Rams.
Okay. Next game, the Buffalo Bills will head to New York South to face the Miami Dolphins on Fox for whatever reason.
Facts.
The Bills open up as 3-point favorites, but the Dolphins have a 52.3% chance to win. I'm not going to lie. I could see – I wouldn't be surprised if Miami pulls off an upset, but I don't think Buffalo gets upset 2 weeks in a row. I think the Bills will take this one 27-14.
I'm going to go with 24-17. I don't think Sean said I don't think the Bills are going to get upset 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, he scored. Y'all see that play?
How do
Your
you
team
not
is
think
actually
those
ahead of
two-
mine, and yeah, he did score.
This game, imagine this game goes to overtime.
Imagine if the Ravens lose. Like I said, this feels exactly like the game against the Saints last year.
I'm going to say 20-10 Bills.
Okay. Yeah, next game.
I might change that though, but
Luca's game of the week. Jets will host New England Patriots on CBS from the Meadowlands MetLife Stadium. The Patriots open up as 5.5-point favorites and have a 61.9% chance of winning. Not going to lie here. I'm feeling a Jets upset.
Really?
17-16.
I say 20-16. I want the Jets.
You read my mind.
I want the Jets to surprise me this week. I don't want to expect to win. I want them to surprise.
So
me.
you have New England winning, or you have
Yeah.
Jets win. Okay.
I'm going to go with 14-13 New England. Actually, no, 14-13
Hello?
Jets.
Okay. So, all right, I think we can all agree, because we didn't do this on the stream last week, and we completely – I think our upset of the week is Jets over Patriots.
Not mine.
Well, not yours, but for me and Alex.
Bengals.
Yeah, whatever. Next game. The San Francisco 49ers will stay in the East Coast anyway, kind of, to head to that dirty abomination, cheesesteak loving city of Philadelphia on Fox to take on the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners only open up as 3.5-point favorites. Listen to this. The Niners only have a 50.1% chance to win, while the Eagles have a 49.5% chance to win.
How do you give them that high? My question.
They think that, wow, Philadelphia
Jesus
getting
Christ,
some
man.
high praise right here.
That's stupid.
Because they won one game against a shitty team.
San Francisco, I can't. If San Francisco, they did this, I think 2 years ago. They had 2 straight games in the East Coast, so they just stayed in the East Coast. San Francisco's stupid if they go back to.
They did that last year with Jets Giants.
That's true. So that's 3 years in a row. So if they're smart, they stay in the East. San Francisco should win this no problem. I give it 33-16, maybe even higher, but I'll be fair.
I'm going to say, I think the Eagles might make it competitive, so I'm going to go 30-20.
Okay. 49ers take the win, 26-13.
Okay. Wow, 49% chance to win. Jeez.
That's a little
Too high of praise.
much.
The next game, the New Orleans Saints will head considering they just played in Jacksonville, a few hours north to the beautiful city of Charlotte, North Carolina, to face the Carolina Panthers. The Saints open up as 3.5-point favorites and have a 57.3% chance to win. I have the Saints winning this 27-24. I think it's going to be a close one.
I'm going to say 17-20. I'm going to say 17-24, kind of. No, actually 17-22. I do have the Saints winning, obviously, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jameis has one of those games.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm going to go with the Panthers.
I'm not, honestly, I don't hate that. I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina wins.
This ain't ESPN. This ain't ESPN, but I feel Sean mentioned it. Jameis Winston's stats were not all that great besides the big popular plays. And I think if they can slow down the running game, kind of like they did with the Jets, and the Jets are a different story. And with that, you slow down the passing game. That's okay. So Mizrahi actually says that the Giants win this week. I think it's possible, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
Possible.
It's definitely going to be a good one. I ain't even going to be able to see it because I got to work Thursday night. But okay, next game, really an ugly game to look at. On CBS, the Denver Broncos will head to Jacksonville to face the Jaguars.
Win.
The Broncos are 6-point favorites. But the Broncos only have a 59.9% chance to win, while the Jaguars have a 39.8% chance to win. Definitely giving Jacksonville a little bit of the edge here. But because Denver's staying on the East Coast, I'm going to say Denver wins 27-10.
Luka?
I think Lawrence is going to struggle against that defense, so I'm going to go 13-24.
Okay. I'm going to go with 28. Let's go 28-14.
Okay. We move to the 405 slate, the first 405 games of the year because we didn't have any last week.
Thank you for staying with us.
Have a good night.
Thanks, man.
It was fun talking to you. Move to the first 405 games of the year. There's 2 of them. First one, Minnesota will head to Arizona on Fox to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are 4-point favorites and have a 63.7% chance to win. I think this one's a no-brainer here after last week.
Yeah.
Arizona, 34-14.
I'm going to say Arizona 27-10.
I'm going to say Arizona. Let's go with 35-20.
Okay. Why this is a late game, I don't understand, but the Falcons and the Bucks on Fox is a late game at 4:05. I specifically switched back to a tab just to see your reaction. The Buccaneers have the largest spread of the week at 13 and have a 80% chance to win. I hope the final of this game, I'm not rooting for Brady. Don't make it that way. Of course, Lamar's got to use his legs because he can't throw a football. Imagine if the Bucks won 28-3. Imagine that. I'm going to say the Bucks are going to have a huge game, 42-7.
Oh shit!
That's
I got a complete blowout.
30-3.
30-10.
30-10. Okay.
Score the first touchdown of the season in garbage time.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, we move to the 425 games. These could actually be interesting. The Dallas Cowboys will head to LA to face the Chargers and will likely be a fully functional Dallas Cowboys home game, especially because they train over there. Chargers are 3-point favorites and have a 52.8% chance to beat the Dallas Cowboys. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a little bit closer than I think people anticipate. I'm gonna say 24-19.
24-19 who?
Chargers.
I have a feeling inside of me that the Cowboys' offense might overpower their defense.
I hope not. Please don't let it happen.
I'm going to say 28-24.
Okay.
Because definitely the Chargers' offense is going to take advantage of the defense.
I'm gonna go 30-28 Chargers.
Okay. Next game. So if my computer could load, that would be beautiful. The Tennessee Titans will head to Seattle, where the 12th man will be back in full force to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks open up as 5.5-point favorites and have a 72.8% chance at beating the Tennessee Titans. I have the Seahawks winning this one 31-16.
24-10 Seahawks.
20-3.
Damn. Okay.
Because Alex hates the Titans.
No, they just showed me nothing in week 1.
Yeah, but is Seattle's defense really that good to not give up a touchdown?
You'd be surprised.
Guess we'll see. The Sunday night game, now this does not have a spread, but it does have percentage chances. The Kansas City Chiefs will face their child, Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, which after watching tonight's game, I haven't seen too much. The Chiefs have a 50.8% chance to win, while the Ravens have a 48.8% chance to win. And after watching this game, I don't think I've seen enough to think that the Ravens can finally beat Kansas City. So I'm going Chiefs 35-24.
I'm going to go with 37-24.
You got 27-24. What's with the Kansas City 27-24? What's with the whole freaking, I don't know.
High scoring?
I just feel like it's going to be closer than you guys anticipate, but we'll see.
I don't know. We'll see. And then next week on Monday Night Football.
He stopped for the Raiders here, but they might go for it maybe.
Yeah, the Detroit Lions will head to Green Bay to face the Packers. The Packers are 10.5-point favorites and have a 69.9% chance to win. Very nice, very nice. I have the Packers. I don't know. Can we really say the Packers will win after the performance yesterday?
I feel like it's going to be close.
It'll be close. I'm going to say no. 20-14. Green Bay.
21 Green Bay.
Packers 23-16.
Could you imagine if Detroit wins this game? Could you imagine? So here comes Justin Tucker.
Green Bay.
I want to see the
fans
ending of
would
this
flip
game.
if they started 0-2, especially against the Lions and the Saints.
Yeah.
Definitely want to see the end of this game. So
Yeah, this game is getting good.
Stay off of that, and then we'll get Pat.
Well, we got an Irish game too. We could talk about real quick. But actually, we're actually much better on time than I thought we would be. So why don't we watch the rest of this game? Then we'll break down a couple of college games, a couple of big ones anyway.
$47 yards.
He got it, as expected. He's automatic. Did they leave? Well, Raiders got no timeouts, so this.
They got.
trust
I mean,
the
they're
people
down by
at
a
their
field
clock.
goal, so they're lucky. They're lucky, you know.
Why do I feel like John Gruden's gonna make a really stupid play call?
No,
That
what he's gonna do is it's gonna be 4th down and 1. They'll spike it, and he's gonna go for the game.
Imagine.
Why do I feel like that's gonna be the case? Sean, if you want to prep the college scoreboard real quick.
Oh yeah. No, I won't go. Obviously, we're not gonna go into every game because
Because that's
that's 130.
Alabama beating Mercer.
Yeah, wow, so impressive.
Just like any team playing the Citadel.
Yeah.
Did you see Jacksonville State beat Florida State?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. You know what's crazy was a Florida State player was trying to propose to his girlfriend while Jacksonville State was celebrating on their field. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Now, I'll let you guys break down the Irish game because I only saw the first half, so I didn't get to see everything. When I left, what the hell was the score? I think that was when Toledo took the lead. I think it was like 17-14 or something. I don't remember.
I'm gonna quickly break it down. I mean, I obviously watched this game as well. They made it closer than they had to because of a lack. What would you say, Luke? A lack of conversions, lack of opportunities, maybe?
Lack of opportunities, lack of offensive conversions. Offensive line wasn't playing too well.
Yeah, but we sacked 6 times by Toledo.
Yeah,
That's embarrassing.
It really is. So,
But props to he didn't get out of bounds. Why did you throw it middle of the field? Y'all better spike it.
John Druden.
Did you just say Gondruden?
Yes.
No, props to Toledo though. They did walk into our house and
Compete.
they certainly made it interesting. But also props to the QB for Notre Dame, Jack Cohen. Goody got his finger dislocated, popped it back into place, and then threw the game-winning touchdown.
That was interesting to see.
So that's dedication right there. So props to him for that. But the Irish barely escape again. Now at 21 seconds, Carr looking, caught in the middle of the field again. You have to spike it. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Spikes it with 7 seconds. They still need some more yards. They're going to need a few more yards if they want to get that kickoff.
It's got to be a sideline route.
It has to be. I don't understand why they weren't running sideline to begin with. They're bringing out the kicker.
Yeah.
Can Daniel Carlson have some late game magic?
I hope not, because he's playing for the. I mean, it's not gonna make much of a difference. Because I'm still probably gonna lose.
Yards.
50. How much? What is it?
52 yards.
55.
55?
Yeah, it says 55.
I don't know about that. I just want to ice the kick.
Oh, did he get it? Oh, he got it! He got it! With 2 seconds remaining. The kick is good. And the Raiders have tied it with 2 seconds left in regulation. I'm sure my dad, one of my dad's best friend, Joe, very happy about that. Shout out to you, Joe Del Alba.
Shout outs to Mizrahi. He says he's out. He wants the Giants. He says his Giants are winning on Thursday, and that also Derek Carr is available after the season. So Giants don't work out with Daniel Jones. I'll take Derek Carr. Not too bad.
Derek Vehicle?
Yeah, Derek Vehicle. I do want to get into these college games and try to make it up.
Oh yeah, I'll go into a couple of games. Obviously, Alabama beat Mercer 48-14. There's the biggest game of the week. Oregon walked into Ohio State and beat the Ohio State Buckeyes. And to ultimately add insult to injury, someone left a little rubber duck in the middle of the Ohio State logo at midfield.
That was
troll game and the win. I am very happy because I always liked Oregon and I could never stand Ohio State. So
yeah.
Congrats to Oregon. That was a good game. I didn't see everything. I watched the highlights and that looked that hell of a game. But Oregon really bounced back because last week they had a close game with Fresno State. So they definitely proved me wrong because I didn't think they were going to win.
Yeah. So obviously I watched that game. No defense for Ohio. No defense has existed, but Ohio State.
No, and I'll have another game that's perfect for that example in a second.
Overrated. One game that surprised me, and I know Sean wants to get to it. Is it me, or should the game not have been close between Miami and Appalachian State?
It should not have been. Miami should have
whooped them.
And this game is going to overtime. Alex, you mentioned no defense. Here's literal proof. Western Carolina, an FCS team, lost to the Sooners 76-0.
I mean,
talk about showing up.
I mean, talking about defense though. Colorado versus
Texas A&M. That was a good one. 10-7.
No quarterback surpassed 200 passing yards.
Yeah.
That just tells
Clemson beat South Carolina State, not the Gamecocks, 49-3.
Iowa beat
Iowa State
27-17. So
Iowa State has not beaten Iowa in like 6 years, I think. It's been a very one-sided rivalry, so Iowa has got the upper hand in that state rivalry. Penn State, they beat Ball State. Shocker.
Stanford.
There you go.
And USC coach got fired.
Yeah, big upset from two of Notre Dame's biggest rivals. So, Stanford obviously walked into the Coliseum and they shut down USC. Not happy, nor could I care because I despise both of them. Here's an upset. Arkansas beat Texas 40-21. Welcome to the SEC, I guess. I mean, when you can't beat Arkansas, why are you joining?
Las Vegas is receiving, so.
Yeah. Texas really got a wake-up call. You sure you want to join?
Same thing with Oklahoma the week before against Tulane.
Yeah. I'm looking to see if there's any of significant. Oh, yeah, this one. BYU, I think for the first time, they took the Holy War, that's the name of that rivalry, over number 21 Utah, 26-17. I think it's like the first time BYU has beaten Utah, either in a long time or ever. I think it's like, I don't remember. I don't remember the stats behind that. Let's see. Auburn. This is the last game I'll hit. Auburn defeated Alabama State 62-0. So, big win there. So, not really. This definitely was not as good of a week for college football as last week. I'm going to look at the top 25 games for next week real quick because I just want to see if there's any key games to look at. Obviously, our Irish play the rival Boilermakers of Purdue. I
could go for some Purdue chicken right now.
Honestly, me too. That does not sound bad. That game is at 2:30. Notre Dame 7-point favorites. Let me see if there's any really good ones. Oh, this is a good one. On CBS at 3:30, Alabama will face Florida at Florida. Florida is actually Alabama is a 15.5-point favorite going into this one, meaning that the Texans have a better chance of beating Cleveland. Just saying. You know,
Florida with no Kyle Trask, I'm interested to see.
Yeah, that ought to be good. Any other games? Oh, this is another good one. Penn State on ABC Saturday night will host Auburn at 7:30. Penn State 6-point favorites. I kind of hope Auburn wins that one. North Carolina, Virginia. That looks like an okay game. Yeah, so some better looking games next week than this week. There weren't a lot of great games this week. Derek Carr, first down to the 36.
Vehicle. What am I gonna say?
Alex, you want to do a little bit of commentating, or you have any other discussions?
I don't have any other discussions, but I would. Well, I want to say the. You know what? Fuck it. Well, I might as well stay on.
I want to stay on for the rest of this game because I got till 12 o'clock. So
yeah.
You know, because I actually they relocated us because CSI, for those watching, got hit really hard with the hurricane. So a lot of the buildings are still damaged. So one of my classes actually got relocated. So I still have in person tomorrow. 9:12 remaining in the overtime period. For whatever reason, it's a shorter 10-minute quarter for some unknown reason.
Wow.
The Raiders would win this game with the touchdown. If not, the Ravens will get another chance, and I guess next score would end it. 8:52. Clock continues to wind down. Derek Carr in the backfield. Takes the snap. Pressure. Dumps it off. And a big play down the sideline to the 40. Inside the 40-yard line.
He stepped out.
He might have.
I just saw it.
It was Hunter Renfrow on the reception.
They've handled this defense pretty well.
Yeah. You know, we said it last week. We wouldn't be surprised if this game ended up being competitive just because of the fact that Baltimore's heading to the West Coast. Kind of the West Coast, not really the West Coast.
Oh, he stayed in, I think.
Yeah, he did stay in.
Okay.
Renfrow, 6 receptions, 70 yards, hands it off to the right side and out to the 30, 39? Imagine if the Raiders pull off the upset. That would actually make next week's game versus Pittsburgh very interesting because both teams would be coming off upsets.
And I don't have any points this week. Then I go 7-9 in my predictions.
I would go 5-11 if Baltimore loses. 7:27 remaining. 2nd and 4. Game all knotted up here in overtime and timeout called by the Raiders.
Hey,
what happened?
Raiders called timeout.
I kind of want to root for the Raiders, but I kind of don't.
I don't care who wins. Ow. Ugh.
It would just be funny to see the narrative go down.
Yeah.
The Baltimore narrative. But then again, people are going to be like, I'm the haters.
Oh, shoot. Hey, if we got any wrestling fans, Big E cashed in his Money in the Bank on Bobby Lashley and his new WWE champion. Thank God. I was hoping he was going to take it from Roman. Derek Carr, looking, rolls out right, under pressure, throws it away. 3rd and 4.
Nobody open there. It's 3rd down.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess, Raiders fans are looking for a Derek vehicle to run over a bird. Kill two birds with one stone. No, these are puns.
Third and 4. Derek Carr takes a snap under lots of pressure and caught. And is he in? Touchdown, Raiders win!
Oh my God!
Touchdown, Raiders! They have pulled off the upset. Brian Edwards, a 33-yard touchdown. And the Las Vegas Raiders, pending review, have won this game. Wow! What a play by Derek Carr being chased by 2 or 3 Ravens defenders. He threw it up. What an adjustment.
Why does Gruden not look happy?
Did he get over, though?
I can't see
I don't think he did.
He
No.
might be like 2 yards short.
I believe he is 2 yards short.
Imagine they don't overturn it.
His knee is down before the ball crosses. The ruling on the field is a touchdown. Officials review it. Lamar Jackson's shaking hands with players like it's over.
Why?
That's awkward. They're all shaking hands like it's over, but they are still reviewing. It clearly wasn't a touchdown when you look at the replay.
Are you just accepting that you lost?
But it looks like they're all still shaking hands on the field. I think that's why John Gruden making weird looking faces. I don't think that's why he's celebrating yet, because I think he realizes that should not be a touchdown.
He's gonna be like, get their ass back on the sideline.
They're still reviewing. Harbaugh is talking to the
how long does it
referee.
taking?
It really, if you look at the pylon cam, it's very obvious his knees were down before the ball crossed. Regardless, it was a beautiful play by Derek Carr and a nice adjustment, to even make the catch. And we wait a ruling on the field. Currently, if it does not count, and it looks like it will not, it looks like they took the touchdown away. There are still 7:10 remaining. This game is not over, but it is first and goal. Even though Lamar looks like he doesn't care because he still thinks they lost.
Yeah.
So the Raiders will have to do it again on first and 10.
Imagine they fumble and turn it over.
Could you imagine? Throws a pick 6 to end it. Raider Nation, full force, Party Central in Las Vegas. Not sure where they had the ball spotted just yet. Looks like they're still working. They even dumped the cooler because they thought it was over. You can see ice on the sideline like it's over.
I saw it.
Baltimore really just said, screw it, we lost. But the referee said no, so Baltimore is forced to continue. So they're at the 1 yard, inside the 1. I formation. Carr, QB sneak. Did he get in? It is close. Looks like they're going to mark him short.
Did he get it? Did he not? No,
I thought he got in.
I think they're going to rule him short, and they will. Clock continues to run. They tried the QB sneak with Derek Carr. It did not work. It is now second and goal.
Why don't he just jump over the pile?
I don't know. Remember, touchdown wins the game for the Raiders. A field goal gives Baltimore one more chance. Second and goal. Baltimore needs a stop inside the 1. And are they going to call a timeout? The clock has stopped, and the Raiders have used their second and final timeout.
Maybe they just want to get a review on it.
Review? No.
I don't think so. I think Carr looked like there was some miscommunication amongst the play calling. This hurts because if the Raiders give up, if they only get a field goal and Baltimore drives down the field, ties it, or even, if they tie it, you got no timeouts left. So very interesting here. Second and goal, 6:23 left in overtime. Remember, there are ties for some unknown reason. I formation once again. And flags on the field. Who jumped first? There are flags everywhere. I want to say it was Baltimore first, but
I'll start.
We'll see. False start. Offense number 70.
Kill yourself like that.
5-yard penalty. Still second down.
How the hell you kill yourself like that?
Big penalty. Is now a force. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he definitely jumped first. So that'll push the Raiders back to about 6.
Alex, look at my text.
Inside the 6. 6:23 remaining. Touchdown wins it. Pass. Or snap. Carr looking. Pass. Overthrown. Not even close. Looking for Renfro again. It's third down. Wow.
At last second, we have to end the stream early, so unfortunately, so
Wait, we got to end it here?
yeah, unfortunately, so
Will we stay for the last play? See if they score?
I can't.
No? All right.
So, all right. I wanted to go for the whole thing, but unfortunately cannot. So, thank you for everybody for joining in, and talk to you later. Peace.
Peace out.